Mic check, mic check, 1 2 1 2. All praises to the ever-present creator. It always was, is, and never shall be. The mighty and great spirit, the mighty and great I am, whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere. It's your little brother Malaki Macabee. Y'all see the topic, spirit basics 101. Then went back to the basics with you Negroes, man. A lot of jargon, a lot of vernacular. A lot of people I heard popular about, sources. And your sources, and I don't accept your source. This extra, And it come down to it, what we realize is these brothers and sisters don't even have the basics. The Negroes is running around here, chest poked out, like they really talking about something. And really, you just arguing over dead men's bones, man. Arguing over what people didn't research and dug up in times past, people who have came before you. You arguing about it. You know what I mean? This is an academic source. I ain't never heard so many Negroes, trying to fact check and look up sources. I don't remember y'all at all when we was in school. I don't remember nobody. You dig? I'm talking about going into backgrounds, looking up sources, citing sources. And look, you all learned out of textbooks. Everybody did. You wasn't fact checking the publisher, what type of lifestyle you live. It was just if the information was good enough to get you to the next grade. You did. Now all of a sudden, because it's deities, There's false gods in the equation, boy. It did. Everybody running around trying to fact check, see what it don't, see what it means. And they niggas is conjugating verbs. Everybody's a linguist now. I was bumping to a brother of mine. This nigga bro was learning Greek. I said, yeah, all right, good. Hey, brother, have it. I hear you. You dig? But when it come down to like these spirit matters, man, look on that side, all that is irrelevant. All that hot breath and hot air you pumping, you know, in the spirit world, none of that. Look, all that means zero. Negro coming up with scholars and PhDs, and this nigga's always he has a degree in Africana studies, Mally. I don't give a hell if he had a degree in toilet paper. When it comes to the spirit world, you dig, boy, you's a baby. And that goes for the top, you know, your top fancy decorated elders and mores. Look, I'm telling you, I know these cats. All the way down to people on the side of the other channel. It's just wild to me, man. It's how the argument is changing to just everybody's a scholar now. You dig? And look, anybody can go buy you some, you know, because they sell their papers, they sell their research now. You can get on Google Scholar. You know, I'll give y'all some game. You can get on Google Scholar. That's an actual site. And you can click on case law on there, or you can click on articles. You can type in whatever you're looking for. And some articles will be free, but then, you know, you get to some sites where they be like, you got to pay me for my research study. And that's what some of these Negroes are doing. I've been known about it. You dig? Been known about it. You know, I go there and look up some things every once in a while. But what I'm saying is, if we all headed to the spirit world, we all got to die and cross over. And nobody know nothing about it. And you think you're finna be arguing with a malevolent force, a dark ass spirit, something that's hell bent at destroying you. And you think your mumble mouth ass gonna be twisting your lips and saying, hold on, where's your primary? Where's your sources? Oh, you didn't say the name right. I'm a linguist. Man, all that shit Pop heard as a mortal. Look, where you headed, none of that means nothing. You dig? It's all about function. Who can display spirit? Who understand what it is? Who knows how to maneuver? You understand? Who know what to say when you skip across something that's hell bent at destroying you? You think you finna be twisting your mouth talking about some damn sources? So this is Spirit Basics 101, man. You know how it is, man. Shout out to the chat. I see y'all in the building. Shout out to my brother DC Sniper. King Mac is in the building. What's the word out? My first century messianic zealot in the building. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You know, you're waging a successful campaign against Saulus Antipater. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you, boy. We got a lot of people sunk down into mud. They still ain't got past this boy Paul, Saul of Tarsus. Shout out to my sister Tikva in the building. What's the word, sis? What's the word? Shout out to my brother, my ASN brother. My brother Aki Abdiel was in the building. Mayor of the West Side. He'll beg to differ, but you know. All love. My brother Johnny James is in the building. What's the word out? What's the word? Got Omaha, Nebraska in the building. Nothing but love. All right, here. Let me show y'all something real quick. Hey man, prayers up for our people in Dimona. Dimona got hit. Iran and hit Dimona. And for y'all that don't know, you know, Dimona is where Israel's nuclear sites is at. And Dimona just so happened to be where, you know, Ben Ami took his crew back in the 60s. You may hear brothers like the Mighty Hebrew run around here. He's a prince from Dimona. In flesh. Powerful brother. Shout out to his sons. You know what I mean? Brother had about 50 sons. You know, but prayers up for the Israelite family in Dimona. But look, and Israel in general. We got brothers in Mitzpah, Ramon, and just different parts. Telluride, you dig? As your brother, I'm gonna tell you, get the hell up out of there. Like, I don't even. Why would you sit where bombs are dropping? Get the hell up out of there and get to moving. The whole earth is your turf. Entire earth. You know what I mean? You so stuck in a box, like this is where it is, this is where it's gonna go down. Man, get your family the hell out of harm's way, man. You dig? Get your family the hell out of harm's way. That's just what it is. You dig? So look, y'all hit the like button, y'all hit the share button. Prayers of protection, guides, and wisdom for the family, for the Israelite families. Just all innocent families in general, man. You know what I mean? Even with the Palestinians, bro. You got Netanyahu warmongering ass. This nigga's bombing whole hospitals full of children. And then turn around and tell you in the name of the God of Israel. Hold on, you niggas don't worship Netanyahu's God, do you? Because he say he rep the God of Israel. Oh, you gonna say, I know, well, that ain't my God. He can say it all he wants, but his God ain't my God. Well, why not? Why? Oh, brother, because he bombing, he killing children. God don't tell you to go kill no children in Bible. See, I want to ask niggas today, right now, is your God the same God as Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu's God? If you're going to say no, why not? Based off what Israel is doing to Palestinians and Iranians and everybody around them. Why is Netanyahu's God not your God? Why? If he reps the God of Israel, he be talking about Messiah, and why his God ain't your God? Because after all, Benjamin Netanyahu bombing whole hospitals full of children. Why his God ain't your God? He said the God of Israel. Hey, but see, you know better. You know good and well that you ain't talking about the same jackal as him. Why not? Why not? And that leads right into our lesson today. You need to learn how to discern. It ain't you looking for the wrong things. You over here tripping off a name somebody saying. You over here tripping off what a thing look like and if it can do a miracle. Huh? And if you tripping off the name that BB, Benjamin Netanyahu just said, look, every time he get on camera, he talk about the God of Israel. The God of Israel. Huh? So if his God ain't your God, what's the difference? How do you tell? Oh, Malaki behavior. Oh, my God would never. Okay, then in Psalms 138 or 139, bash the baby's heads against the wall. Happy shall he be. Don't forget about the prophet Elisha, 42 children called this Negro bald-headed. He cursed them in the name of his God, and birds came out and had the mastery of them. I'm saying if it's all based off action and behavior, then based off the action and behavior, you do have the same God as this nigga, man. See, the gang gonna tell you flat out, hell to the no. Hell, the creator ain't with none of it. Iran or Israel. What's the key? Nigga, the stain or the mark of blood is on you. The creator, the Almighty, never sanctioned warfare. He ain't never told you to go kill nothing. That's man. You dig? Yeah, they've been talking about he gone, and then they saying he alive. I don't look. You gotta watch out for these deep media pump fakes. Sister Tickful, you feel me? I thought he was about it there too. I mean, I don't know. Today you're dealing with AI, and it's so hard to, that they blending the lines between reality and what's artificial. Y'all all know this. Y'all all know this. So prayers out, man. For everybody, man, that's affected on this side. That look, that ain't even with the warfare. War is ugly and messy business. Here you nigga. Oh, he said he gonna put hooks in their jaw. Who said? Who said? You just thinking because it say Lord everywhere over 7,000 times in the Bible. It's talking about the Almighty. And it's not. And you're too late in the game to be falling for the pump fake. What you mean just because the Lord? Okay, what's the message from the Lord? Invade Iran and bomb hospitals and take out all their leadership? Well, the Lord ain't the Almighty, the Creator, for damn sure. And if he a true Lord, his message ain't got nothing to do with no warfare. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Yeah, you're going to get some get right. Talking about, put the hooks in their jaws and drag them over. Yeah, that is not the Almighty. Everywhere you read in Bible that says Lord or God is not talking about the Creator, the maker of God, the maker of suns, moons, and stars. I must have said something wrong. Nick Rose is getting angry and mad and vindictive and foaming at the mouth. You done found out the Creator is not a man of war and you mad. Don't fall for the madness, family. Do not fall for the madness. All right. Let's get into some of this right here, man. You dig? Shout out to the undergrads. Shout out to the CGG producers and all that. I want to hit this real quick right here. Show y'all something. Yeah, man, Demona getting hit. And I already knew it was coming. That y'all right over there with that nuclear site at. What make you think Iran ain't gonna hit that deal? Got you over there low running. Get the hell up out of there. See, these Nick Rose trying to be diplomatically correct with you. And oh, brother, yes, shalom. Shalom. Yom Tov. Shabbat shalom. Get your ass the hell up out of there. How about that? Ooh-wee. Let's try this. Let's try this. I know I be making folk mad. I can get less than half of a damn. Get y'all ass the hell up out of there, man. Got your babies and grandbabies right in the middle of this, because you over here talking about some more. Well, this is where I'm supposed to be. It's the Holy Land. I'm right here on the Mount of Olives. The entire earth is your turf. And the Creator is currently ain't never stopped creating worlds. There's countless worlds. You arguing over a piece of a corner that's no bigger than the state of New Jersey. Let's work.
It was a very significant attack on what is a very strategically important city. Dimona is pretty much the home of Israel's nuclear program in the Negev desert down in the south of the country. It does appear that from this salvo, one ballistic missile got through defenses and there was a direct strike. But we also understand that there were several other impacts reported around the city. The number of casualties has been put now at over 50, most of those requiring hospital treatment, with one 12-year-old boy said to be in a very serious condition with shrapnel injuries. This is, according to the Iranians, in retaliation for this attack on Natanz, its nuclear facility. Now, Israel has said it didn't take part in that. That was an American operation. But Israel has accepted responsibility for other attacks. For example, recently an attack on what they say was a nuclear weapons research center at a university in Tehran. And Dimona has been the subject of attacks throughout Saturday. There have been a total of 7 air raid alerts being raised in the city as missiles were trying to get through. I think during this one of the last salvos on Saturday evening, this is when these missiles and debris managed to get through the defensive screen. And given the importance, the strategic importance of this city, and also the fact that Israel prides itself on intercepting a high ratio of incoming missiles, there is going to be an investigation into how this missile could get through.
President Trump issuing a 48-hour ultimatum to Iran last night, threatening to obliterate its power plants if the Strait of Hormuz isn't reopened.
Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst is live on the ground in Israel with the very latest. Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. Right now we are in the city of Arad in southern Israel, where overnight an Iranian ballistic missile slammed into an apartment complex, wounding at least 100 people. I do want to just show you the scene behind me here. You can see damage to this building right here. These apartments totally gutted with rubble as crews are still on the scene, ensuring there are no unexploded ordinances and things like that. My cameraman Yaniv's going to pan over to this bus. You can see the shattered window of the bus, that windshield.
Man, y'all see that? Boy, that ain't nothing to play with. You got Nick Rose just gonna listen, you know, it bombs blowing up all around you, and you say, "Oh, I'm in the promised land." Man, if you don't get your monkey ass the hell up out of there, the hell is wrong with y'all? This Telluride right here, a spot that Israelites argue over if it's the real Jerusalem or not. Huh? You dig? Then you got Dimona. All this is right in the same area where these nuclear. And notice on the previous video, dude was saying that Dimona is home to Israel's nuclear facilities. Dimona just so happened to be the city in which the Israelites that went over there in the 60s following Ben Ami from Chicago. Yeah, his whole little tribe been over there over 50 plus years. You dig? He dead now, but he got great grandchildren over there and all that, man. You dig? So yeah. For y'all that's listening that live over there, that we got connections with brothers all throughout the land of Israel. You dig? Hey, look, don't be feeling obligated to stay where bombs are blowing. Right now, these are ICBMs or drones dropping, whatever. Man, when that sucker go nuclear, boy. Hey, it's going to look like a third world country. Beirut, Lebanon. Don't be so goofy and stupid, so devoted to where you'll stay right in the path of a missile. You over there eating missile fuel for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Come on, man. Come on. And then look, I know y'all over there. I know y'all praying and hoping Israel win this thing. So now you're on the side of Israel, the devils, the ones that's bombing whole hospitals full of children. Huh? I'm going to ask you again, is Benjamin Netanyahu's God, because he talks about the God of Israel quite often, is that your God? I'm speaking to my Israelites that's in Israel and those that ain't in there. Do you serve the same God as Benjamin Netanyahu? And if not, why? This ain't nothing to play with, boy. War is ugly and messy business. Watch this.
Field there as this explosion took place, rocking the area. We have some video overnight showing the flames rising from these buildings as first responders arrived on the scene. Civilians were escorted out. This is an area packed with civilians. And it just gives you a sense of how dangerous these Iranian ballistic missiles are as they slam into central Israel. Reports that there was another cluster munition launched just about 30 minutes ago. We also know the Israelis are going after the storage facilities of these Iranian ballistic missiles. We have some new video from the IDF showing those strikes against Iran yesterday. All of this is taking place as the range for these missiles was shown directly by the Iranians over the weekend when they launched 2 ballistic missiles toward the Diego Garcia Air Base in the Indian Ocean. This is about 4,000 kilometers from Iranian territory. And the Israelis and the Americans say this is why the operation had to begin, because it gives you a sense of just how dangerous these long-range missiles are. Now, President Trump over the weekend issuing a new warning to the Iranian regime. He said on Truth Social, quote, if Iran doesn't fully open without threat the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours from this exact point in time, the United States of America will hit and obliterate their various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Trump clearly, again, coordinating with the Israelis who are continuing on.
Hey, y'all, look, that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all over here voting for this clown and you know what I mean? It's like, man, these are warmongers. These men are drunks. Very dark, very low, and thirsty for blood. These are demons in the flesh. You know, we're voting for this guy. You know what I mean? Ready to fight people over your political views and what type of, are you a Democrat or Republican? Or look, man. Look. At what point do you stand up as a man and say, look, I ain't rolling with none of y'all. All y'all devils. Ain't none of y'all rolling with the creator at all. Huh? Trump is giving ultimatums. Open up the Strait of Hormuz or we bombing y'all. You paying attention yet? Huh? Eyes wide shut. I know.
An hourly basis, their air campaign against the Islamic Republic of Iran. And at this site earlier today, guys, I interviewed Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. At the top of next hour, we will bring you his remarks. Guys?
And Trey, so just about where you are now, talking about the strike that's injured over 100, it's a reminder, it seems, that while we hear from the president and from Secretary Hegseth that they have greatly degraded Israel's missile capabilities, that this is a reminder they can still strike, and it is deadly.
Absolutely. Look, we are looking at a reduction in strikes from the early days of this war, but not Iran's inability to fire. The reality of this conflict is that Iran is still launching ballistic missiles and drones, not just at civilian residences in Israel, but also in Gulf countries. They're targeting energy infrastructure, and they have the ability to respond when and where they want to. And so entering into week 4 of this conflict, there is a very difficult situation ahead for the Israeli people, and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will continue to strike the Islamic Republic along with the U.S. planes that are over the skies of Iran each hour.
Trey, you read the tweet, with a very powerful, strong tweet from the president saying you have 48 hours, but we're going to go this and this and this. Have the Iranians responded to what they will do in response to that?
Yes, and so guys, just stay with me here. We are walking right now. We're walking right now. One second. Guys, so just give me one moment here. You can see they're starting to move the press back here. There are a lot of officials that are actually coming to this location. And so we're just going to move as we talk to you. But in terms of the president's threats against the Strait of Hormuz and the Iranian regime and their presence in the Strait of Hormuz, the president wants to be very clear that he will not tolerate attacks on international shipping vessels. The Iranians are trying to shut down this critical waterway because they understand that it is an area where they can exert pressure on the Israelis and the Americans. And that is the reason that the president is warning them that he will strike heavy in this area if the decision is not made by the Iranians to open this strait. I do want to let you know also, I asked Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu if the Israelis will participate in possible strikes against the power grid in Iran. As the president noted in this True Social post, he says that the United States and Israel continue to coordinate as this war develops. Guys?
So, Trey, where at the site where you are right now, we're so used to talking about the laser-guided missiles that the U.S. drops that are very targeted, that go through a bedroom window. Obviously, this was aimed at Israel and loosely aimed at a neighborhood. How specifically targeted was this missile that landed last night?
So the Iranians have the ability to enter in coordinates in these ballistic missiles and target specific areas. This was not a cluster munition. This was a direct impact of an Iranian ballistic missile, and it caused a significant amount of damage to these homes in this area. At least 100 people injured in this one specific strike. What the Iranians are also doing is using cluster munitions against the civilian population here. And we understand in Tel Aviv right now, first responders are at up to 15 different scenes where a cluster munition rained down on the population below.
Cluster munitions rain down. The deities are inspiring bloodshed and warfare. You sure you don't serve the same God as Benjamin Netanyahu? You sure? We got Israelites right here saying they would kill children. Hey, BB is killing children, bombing whole hospitals full of children. You sure you don't got the same? Charging you up. You sure? Well, look at these so-called self-professed, renowned so-called Israelites. Melanated folk. A lot of y'all like to brag about melanin. Well, these is all melanated folk right here. Watch this.
All right, question for Ease. Would you kill your child, your son, if your God told you to?
You said the Most High told me to?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, the most I said do it, then that's what it is. Yeah, man, the most I said do it, then that's what it is. Yeah, man, the most I said do it, then that's what it is.
A 22-year-old woman told hotel workers in Holmes County that she had been directed by God. That she had been directed by God. That she had been directed by God. To go on a shooting spree about the solar eclipse, and that not long after she left the hotel in a purple Dodge Challenger driving to the interstate, traveling west, shooting into two cars. One of the drivers was shot in the neck, the other grazed in his arm.
If your God came to you right now, tonight, in pomp and glory, shining, and he commanded the death of your child, would you sacrifice your child?
If the Most High would do it, of course.
Look, listen to me. So, yes, these niggas worship the same God as Benjamin Netanyahu. Is he killing children? Yes. These Negroes are saying, of course. Huh? That one boy got the stuttering like Porky the Pig. Yeah. Deity got your tongue, boy. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, it's the same deity. They won't admit it, but it is. How do you know, Malachi? Listen to the message. And look at the actions that are prepared, or the deeds that are prepared to get done in the name of the God of Israel. Now, if the title or the name is the God of Israel, but the message is opposite of warfare, you know what I mean? It's opposite of that, then we ain't got no problem. Okay, well, you saying the God of Israel is the creator, all right, whatever. But when you get to talking all in the name of the God of Israel, and hospitals of children are being bombed, huh? This is your boy Netanyahu, the Khazar. And then we flip on to those who profess to be bloodline Israelites, and what are they saying? If the Most High told me to do it, of course. But hell, that's what Benjamin Netanyahu was saying. Yeah. You niggas worship the same God as this cat, man. Make no mistake about it. And all the Israelites is living in the land of Israel right now, you hoping the state of Israel wins. You hoping that they wipe out Iran. Yeah. All for the sake of being there. Y'all is up under the same vibration and banner. There ain't no gray area in this. And you call yourself that, and you over there living in it. There ain't no gray areas. There ain't no neutral gang colors when it comes to this. Oh, watch this.
If the Most High would do it, of course.
If the Most High would do it, of course.
Peter Lucas Moses refers to himself as a radical religious person who is with the Black Hebrews. And he just pleaded guilty to killing a 4-year-old and a woman that he was living with. He killed the 4-year-old because he thought he was gay.
Moses believed 4-year-old Higginbotham was homosexual. Klein says Moses took Higginbotham to the garage, played the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, and shot him. If
God came to you and told you to sacrifice your kid, would you sacrifice your kid?
Hell yeah.
Look, Carl. And y'all, he don't even got children. You wonder what? This nigga ain't even got no children. Come on, some hell yeah. These niggas worship the same exact deity. They do. There's no difference. Only difference is you Negroes got more concentrated forms of melanin or carbon. That's it. But the message is the same. Go kill you some children or lay the innocent down, spill some blood. And trip off this. You'll do it without even flinching. This nigga said, hell yeah. Okay. And you wonder why I be tripping. And that's the problem. The problem is ain't enough of us tripping. I'm tripping. You may not be. You may be okay. Well, you know, all milk toast and smooth soliloquies. Not me. I'm tripping. These Negroes are enemies.
God is called a terrible, like demon-like power. God is called a terrible, like demon-like power. God is called the terrible, like demon-like power.
Listen. And she's supposed to be devoted to the God of Israel. She's smiling, telling you God is a demonic power. Terrible power. Terrible and demonic. And you got the unmitigated gall to try to think that these are gatekeepers. Huh? Gatekeepers to places of torment or hell not, perhaps. But when it comes to these spiritual matters, y'all, it ain't nobody out here dealing with the game. Nobody. Nobody. These are supposed to be your scholars. You done heard, of course. Hell yeah. Huh? And she's admitting right here that, yes, God, the God of Israel, what we worship, is a terrible demon-like power. Yeah, so you wonder why I be tripping. I'm tripping. We ain't cool. I ain't trying to get the I'm tripping.
So Napa means empty, you could say, or like open. Shita means
She's smiling. She's skinning teeth. This your boy saying that a wife, man. No, that's what I'm saying. No, it ain't. There ain't no respect. It ain't no love. No, it ain't. It ain't. I'm tripping.
demon or demon-like or terrible. Shita means demon or demon-like or terrible. Shita means demon or demon-like or terrible.
According to the criminal complaint, Polite told investigators God told him to shoot Pastor Germany. God told him to shoot Pastor Germany.
God told him to shoot Pastor Germany.
And he wanted to go to jail to clear his mind.
Would you kill your child or your grandchild if God told you to?
Oh, man.
So that's a yes?
Yeah, well, it's a yes. It's a yes.
It's a yes.
But I think that it would be a test. I don't think the Lord would actually tell you to do it. I think it would just be a test because we can see.
You be willing to go through with it?
That Negro was trying to talk his way up out of that one. I'm like, nah, you willing to go through with it? Huh? Look, no, we're not letting y'all off the mat. That was the night he got put in the blender by Macabee that night. He ain't been the same since either. This nigga is debating white Christians over if Joseph is Jesus' father. Man, look, man. Yeah. Remedial topics. But don't nobody want to deal with the God, though. Y'all real conveniently sidestep the deity that's whispering in your ear and then put a battery in your back. Y'all sidestep it. Nobody want to talk about the deity, boy. Ooh-wee.
I'll go through any trial the Lord puts me through.
He was leader Yahweh Ben Yahweh, the self-proclaimed Son of God. One day in 1981, her North Dade home became a house of death. Banks and her husband, Carlton Carey, had just returned from talking with police about another Yahweh member who had been decapitated. Today, Yahweh Ben Yahweh is charged in her attempted murder and the death of her husband. October 1986, Yahweh's take over an Opalaka apartment building. Two residents who were ordered to leave publicly complained. That night, both were shot to death.
Wow!
Judah, do you hear me? If the Most High Yahweh tells you to kill your family, would you do it? Yes or no?
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes.
Oh, Judah, no.
Damn. Judah didn't mean that, y'all.
If the Most High say, put your family down, would you do it for the Most High?
By faith, yes. By faith, yes.
By faith, Yes.
But he's going to tell me not to do it, just like he did Abraham. We have a story like that already. Next.
The moral law is that if a child was to be rebellious, okay, towards their parents, they was to be taken down and be stoned to death because of that. You see what I'm saying?
Would you do that? Would you do that if your God came back to you today in glory and said, I want you to stone your son if he get rebellious? Would you? Would you do it?
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I would.
Wow.
The Most High was to come to you and ask you to off your loved ones. Would you do it, brother?
If I had made the mistake, if I didn't have ancestors inside of me and I made the mistake to make babies with outside nations, and then I heard the download from my ancestors saying that you need to put them away, yes, I will put them away. Yes, I will put them away.
Yes, I will put them away.
Okay, Judah Nazareth, if the Most High come to you and say, I want you to put down your family, I have a better movement for you that I need you to do, would you do it?
Get out of here.
Jehovah's law rolls strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all. Y'all, we in the book of Suit. And the trumpet sounded, every shadow withdrew. False crowns cracked, and the prophecy.
Shout out to the Undergrads album, man. This right here is the Book of Suit. You dig? Shout out to the producers and the creative gang. Shout out to my brother FGK Capone. Shout out to my brother Bronze, yo, Taz. You know, hey, you know, we got many departments, many members to the body, should I say, man. Hey, look, if y'all ready to get this deal started, y'all go ahead and spend some vortices up in the chat. Y'all share this across your social media and all that. Let them know Macabee tripping. I'm back on the hunt for your false deities and gods. Hey, look, and if your God get rocked, that's just what it is. What you over there talking about something is we sick for? You must be a slave, Y'all spend some vortices in the chat. Shout out to the gang, man. Let's cook.
Every shadow withdrew. False crowns cracked, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rolls strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all. Y'all, we in the book of Suit. And the trumpet sounded, every shadow withdrew. False crowns cracked, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rolls strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all. We in the book of Suit.
When the crowns fell silent and the kings all died, Jehovah's son came forth with a lamp at his side, illuminating every cycle through a cosmic script. Who walked the path of light when the night got thick? Patterns came back around like a clock reset. A lesson for the ages you ain't seen yet. The covenant endured while the nations wept. Remnants kept the flame while the false one slept. No soul abandoned, no heart left alone. The light freed man from the Game of Thrones. Prophets warned early how the dark would act. False lords fronted hard till the heavens collapsed. But the faithful held steady when the chaos grew. For they were branded by the mark of the Creator's truth. The prophets kept record of the things they'd seen and how the Father's voice had restored the dream. When the trumpet sounded, shouted, false crowns crack, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rose strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all, we in the book of Suit. When the trumpet sounded, shouted, false crowns crack, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rose strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all, we in the book of Suit. Nations rode high on the serpent's spine, but in time they all fell with their tails entwined. Empires brag heavy on their gold and stone till the cycle spun it back like a replay mode. Sue logged centuries of tears and strife. Rise and decline, yo, the pulse of life. When the prophets got silenced and thrown aside, then the plagues came down and the false lords died. Temples fell quiet and the idols broke. Shadow lifted upward like a rising smoke. He revealed a holy blueprint of Jehovah's design, where no king prevails and no souls confined. He sparked creation's rhythm in an arc of time, reconstructing worlds that the false maligned. He etched that law all eternal in the planetary spine, setting newborn cycles in a perfect line. When the trumpet sounded, every sounded, false crowns crack, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rose strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all, we in the book of Sukkot. When the prophet sounded, every sounded, false crowns crack, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rose strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all, we in the book of Sukkot. When the final cycle opened and the veils unrolled, Sue rose speaking truth that the prophets told. He walked through lower heavens where the false grew bold, turning counterfeit crowns back to dust from gold. He traced Jehovah's line where the arcs unfold, correcting every kingdom that the night controlled. He breathed new life where the ages got old and shattered every myth that the serpent sold. He raised the nations upward from the fear they hold, guiding lost generations to the shepherd's fold. He lit the path of dawn with a lamp of gold till the remnant stood firm and reconstructed the code. He weighed the fallen heavens on the scales of old, dividing truth from lies, whose eyes can see souls. He tore the veil from heaven where deceit enrolled, revealing every single oath that the secrets hold. When the trumpet sounded, false crowns crack, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rose strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all, we in the book of Sukkot. And the trumpet sounded, false crowns crack, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rose strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all, we in the book of Sukkot.
Oh, wait. Man, that deal go hard there, boy. That deal go hard, and then I like this whatchamacallit too right here. Let's play this. Hold on, I got one for y'all. That deal go hard. I like this whatchamacallit too though. This 16 cycles. This deal go hard. Play that real quick.
16 cycles, the story unfolds from light into darkness as heaven foretold. God rose and labored, the harvest was stored, all from the records of Jehovah, the Lord. The earth spins around in a circuit of time. 4 arcs of the seasons, the circle's design. 3,000 years in a cycle complete. Jehovah's angels guiding mortals' feet. First came Sethens, the first God's name. Raised up the brides for Jehovah's flame. Then a shown followed with hosts on high. Harvests in billions beneath the sky. Who leads see for Ivan and more took their turn. Each left a record for mortals to learn. Civilization rose, the cities grew vast. Books, ships, and temples, but none would last. For though they had wisdom, they fell once more. Cycles repeating from shore to shore. 16 cycles, the story unfolds from light into darkness as heaven foretold. God rose and labored, the harvest was stored, all from the records of Jehovah, the Lord. The Ahims walk gentle, a spiritual race. Peace in their dwelling, Jehovah's grace. But the ground men rose with flesh as they crave. Drugs mixed in, and the Ahons were made. Civilizations flourished and faded away. Man fell to beasts in a single day. Generations shortened, disease took hold. Cannibals roam where the prophets told. Neph cried out, the earth is in pain. 30,000 million spirits in chains. Darkness thick and the prayers unheard. Jehovah waited, restraining his word. Cycles of labor, harvest declined. Angels and mortals lost in kind till Jehovah spake from Ethiopian height, calling his chiefs to set the world right. 16 cycles, story unfolds from light into darkness as heaven foretold. God rose and labored, the harvest was stored, all from the records of Jehovah, the Lord. Council assembled in Sanaya's land. Millions of chiefs at Jehovah's hand. 16 redemptions, yet darkness remained. Too prolific the earth, her people profaned. Wag of the stronghold, Druze filled skies. Jehovah decreed, the continent dies. Build ships, oh faithful, wherever you stand. For my flood shall cover the face of the land. The plains of Ogi, the temples of Ku. Cities of men swallowed under the blue. Screams of millions, the waters rise. Mortals descending, angels cry. Yet I rescue the lost in Aegean seas. Assign them teachers, bring them peace. The vineyard pruned, the cycles reset. Jehovah's word, remember, don't forget. 16 cycles, the story unfolds. From light into darkness, as heaven foretold. God rose and labored, the harvest was stored. All from the records of Jehovah, the Lord. 16 cycles, the story unfolds. From light into darkness, as heaven foretold. God rose and labored, the harvest was stored. All from the records of Jehovah, the Lord.
Man, look, y'all better stop playing with the game, boy. That deal is hard. Man, that deal hard, man. I gotta keep it real with you. All praises, glory, and honor. Y'all hit that like button, get us in the algorithm popping. A little taste. You dig? And you look, y'all see the title. Spirit Basics 101. The conscious community need the basics. Nobody, look, when it comes down to these spiritual matters, man, ain't nobody talking about nothing. You're arguing over dead bones and man-made boundaries. And, a lot of this mythology. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on, to be honest with you. You did, and none of it got to do. You can't take none of that with you when you cross over. You find yourself in front of some spirits that's hell bent against you, or whatever. You ain't gonna be able to pull up no Wikipedia source, or no Encyclopedia Britannica source. Them niggas ain't arguing about no primaries and none of that. None of that. You dig? Do you know how to handle up a knot? That's what it comes down to, man. Let me go ahead and share this real quick. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into it. Easy money, man. I know, people be mad with taste. Now, I dare you, but look, the whole deal is to get you to think. Y'all used to tell us that when we was young. Put your thinking cap on, Johnny. Dang, okay. Put my thinking cap on around this slab. Think. You feel me? Take that off right there. Did that deal pop up? Put your thinking cap on, Johnny. Hold on. 1 second, fam. Let me see something real quick. Don't worry, when that deal done disappeared. Yeah, sure. Hold on. Let me get this deal popping. One second, fam. Where that deal at? I'm trying to hide from you, brother. Yeah, okay, there it go. Right there, bing. Okay, get back right, bing. You know what I mean? And then right here. All right, bang. Bang. Yeah, we finna have to go on back up. And we about to get into some teachings of Abraham, man. Like, look, the world need the basics. You need to know where you at, and what to do. You know what I mean? And how to handle up, man. Because it's getting crazy out here. No type of discernment at all. It's just as soon as somebody pop up with a name or something, yes sir, yes sir. Dang, man. All right. Let's get into some of this right here. I'm about to get into our brethren, Abraham, however you want to say it today. All right. I'm just gonna go over a few let's go over a quick review real quick so we can understand. This right here is in God's book of Esdras, dealing out the our spirit, the book of Sky Earth Spirit. The most I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's the most feared book in these streets, period. And the crazy part about it, it ain't talking about nothing blood curdling, the creator sanctioning war, drinking blood, chopping off heads, killing babies and infants. Ain't none of that being talked about at all. None of that being talked about at all. So so why is it that majority of the people in what you call the conscious community are afraid of this book right here? Why? Who gets afraid of light unless their deeds are darkness? Esther 40:14. For in the time of the fulfillment of my revelations, it will not be sufficient for either heaven or earth to reestablish spiritual communion. But it shall also be shown to them that there are kingdoms. Listen, see, you need the basics and understanding. Listen to what's being said. But it shall also be shown to them that there are kingdoms and principalities in heaven. Okay. And they are ruled over. And they are ruled over by both good and bad gods. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You think they arguing about primary sources? You think they argue, what scholars say? Look, that's a whole different type of world where don't none of that fly. Now, you can hide behind your sources and your scholarship and all that. He letting it be known. It shall be shown to them that there are kingdoms and principalities in heaven. And they are ruled over by both good and bad gods. Good night, boy. Good night, boy. Look at this. Moreover, they shall understand the truth, that whoever worships Buddha shall go to Buddha to be his slaves. And whoever worships Brahma shall go to Brahma and be his slaves. Y'all, it's the same with Christ. Najibas, it's the same with Muhammad Samich. Muhammad, it's the same thing. Right? None of these are the creator. These are deities. These are gods that have been that have assumed. They are her pump faking. They have assumed the role of your maker. All these are one-time men who have been seen, y'all. One-time men. So understand this real quick. Wherever you at, whoever you devoted to, that's who slave you're gonna be when you cross over. Slave. You see that? The creator is completely about liberty, freedom. We're not the creator's slaves. We're his sons and daughters and servants of righteousness. We get in good graces with the Almighty by the good and righteousness we do to the next man, woman, and child. That's how you build your spirit. That's how you get your faith up. That's how you get in good graces with the Almighty. All right? You being dominated and manipulated by the tool called religion. That's how the false gods manipulate the masses. And it's billions. It's billions upon this. But realize this, whoever you quoted and devoted to, General Yohana, Captain Zoyak, hell, your Christian apologetics like Vocam Malone and BK apologists. You know what I mean? It don't matter whether you profess yourself to be a Christian or a Messianic Israelite or just an Israelite, period. Understand this, whoever you devoted to, boy, and it ain't the maker, you about to be a slave when you cross over. You going to the plantation. Yeah, you're going to be on your belly worming. So that's really what's behind the gang going so hard and coming at your deities like that. It did, because we understand. Like, boy, you gonna be. So when I look at a Captain Zoyak, I say, boy, that's a big head slave for this nigga when he cross over. He just said, I whatever the Lord put on me, I'm doing. So if it was to kill his grandchild he just had that night, hey, La Alfred, La Alfred is barbecue. Yeah. These men running around as so-called scholars and the top ones in the community. We hear it all the time. You dig? But all I see is, look, you know what I see? A target. That's all I see. Y'all still clapping, standing up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This nigga is about to be a slave. And boy, you gonna be that until that false god of yours, his kingdom fall and crack. And then when his kingdom finally fall and crack, all y'all going into a hell knot. Good Lord, boy. And you wonder why we tripping. Love you enough to tell you, even though I don't like none of y'all, I love you enough to tell you, hey, watch out. Watch out. That ain't what you want. That ain't what you want. If you worship it, you have to be a slave to this sucker, boy. And all these are in the image of men. All of them have been seen. All of them were mortal men who have walked the earth. No way. Yeah, whoever you worship, Buddha, Brahma, Jesus, Allah, wherever you at, that's who you would. The truth about this, that's who you bound to when you cross over. Moreover, they should understand the truth that whoever worships Buddha shall go to Buddha to be his slaves. And whoever worships Brahma shall go to Brahma and be his slaves. Dang. Really? I will make it plain to them. See what he say? I will make it plain to them that to worship a spirit, though he is a god, is simply the giving of their own souls into bondage. Good night, boy. Good night, boy. Dang. For they shall in that day understand that the great spirit, the ever-present, the creator, is not an idol. It's not an idol in the figure of a man sitting on a throne. Good night. Some key attributes dealing with the Almighty, the Creator. The Creator is omnipresent or ever-present, y'all. Meaning all places at the same time. Ever-present. Fills all space and place. Breathe in. Meaning there ain't nowhere you can go where the Creator's presence is not there. Ain't nowhere you can go. Creator's everywhere. It's not localized. You ain't, in the image of a man sitting on a throne in space somewhere. The Creator's everywhere. It's almost as if we're inside of Creator. Yeah, this whole experience we have is almost like we're inside of the Creator. He tell you all that you see is part, is part of his person. Whether you're talking about suns, moons, stars, quasars. The Creator is also omniscient, means possession of all knowledge. So if he fills all space and place, he's not localized. He's not limited. Like right now, I'm in this chair right here. I'm not in South Carolina. I'm not in Mississippi. I'm not in Russia right now. I'm in a chair, localized. That's ever present. Omniscient, possesses all knowledge, meaning if you're all knowledge and you possess all knowledge, there ain't a lick of ignorance in the Almighty. There ain't nothing he don't know. Omnipotent or omnipotent means all powerful. There ain't a lick, a smidgen of weakness in the Almighty. And the Almighty's invisible, unseen, impossible to look upon as we see other men, women, children, or animals. These are the main attributes belonging to the ever-present Creator, whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere. Let's look deep into more characteristics and compare and contrast the ever-present Creator versus your localized deity. Shout out to Bronze Yoga in the building. What's the word, Ak? My brother. What's the word with my brother Bronze, man? God tempts Abraham to sacrifice Isaac as a burnt offering. Question: if tempted by God, would you be willing to offer your child as a burnt offering to him? We've seen a whole video of Negroes, millie mouth midgets, telling you, hell yeah, of course I would. They're out of here. You've seen a woman smiling at the fact that her God is a demon. Now see this? I ain't making none of this up. right? You just don't like who it's coming from and how it's being said. But you know I'm not lying. You know I'm not lying. That's all right. You ain't gotta like me. I can care less. I don't live my life based off who like Macabee. I can give less than a damn who don't like me. I'm gonna speak the truth though. You know what I mean? Even if you get mad and call yourself wanting to do something, hey, look, handle your business. Cause I'm gonna handle mine. Question: is the temptation to kill righteous or sinful? Did God tempt Abraham with sin? First question again. If tempted by God, would you be willing to offer your child as a burnt offering to him? Ain't none of y'all built like that. Hell to the no. No, you're not doing it. Is the temptation to kill righteous or sinful? The temptation to kill is sinful. We don't got to lick our fingers and come up with about 1 million precepts to prove that. A child knows that to kill something is sinful. It's wrong. Oh, well, if that's the case, did God tempt Abraham with sin? If you're saying you would kill your child if God tempted you to do it, is killing righteous or sinful? You would have to say, so there ain't a Negro on this earth that says it's right. No, it's not righteous. Well, that means Abraham's God tempted him with sin, y'all. What is temptation, Malachi? The desire to have or do something, especially something wrong, or something that causes this desire. The desire to have or do something, especially something wrong. Something wrong. Oh, he just tested the Malachi. It was in the temptation. James 1:13. Shout out to James the Judge. James 1:13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil. Neither tempteth he any man. Wow. God can't be tempted with evil. Nor does he tempt folks to do evil or sin. The Almighty's not playing a game with you. What you think this is? Almighty's not playing a game with none of us. Well, it either is or it ain't, y'all. It's very, very easy. You just got to remove any preconceived notions you have. You know what I mean? You got to unlearn. It's time to go back to the drawing board. You did? Erase the entire board and start afresh. Get back to the basics. That way, you did. Whenever that temptation come crashing through your mind, you can identify it and tell it to keep it moving. You understand? Look at this. Let no one say when he is tempted, I am tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted by evil. And he himself tempts no one. Really? That's Bible. Well, let's get into this Genesis then. Oh, man. Look at this monstrosity. Hold on. He over there smiling. Look at it right here. This right here, Genesis 22. We're going to read 1 through 2, 7 through 8, 10 through 13. And this is the scripture that all the brothers and sisters that was on that video saying, yeah, it's because of this scripture right here. Because of the scripture right here. Because of the scripture right here. Genesis 22. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham. What it say in the book of James, he don't tempt no one. Can't be tempted with evil. Neither do he tempt anyone to do evil. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham. And said unto Abraham, and he said, behold, here I am. Sir, yes, sir. And he said, take now thy son, thine only son. That's a whole nother topic too, boy. Y'all may not be wanting to hear that. Take now thy son, thine only son, Isaac, whom you love, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him therefore a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. So a burnt offering, you know, that there's a certain law that takes place for a burnt offering. It ain't like you just poking this little joker up and just letting them bleed out. And even that's evil as all hell. But there's a whole burnt offering law based off the Torah. So when he told him offer as a burnt offering, Abraham was well aware on how to present a burnt offering to the deity. Verse 7. And Isaac spoke unto Abraham his father. So notice in the beginning, Abraham already knew what the mission was. He already knew. The deity told him right in the beginning, hey, go take your only son whom you love and you go over there to that mountain. You about to offer him up as a burnt offering. Abraham says, sir, yes, sir. No spiritual discernment. No, hold on. What you mean? I've been commanded not to kill. None of that. This, sir, yes, sir. Now, look, that's the spirit you want to stay away from. You always supposed to be. That's like somebody coming to knock at your door right now. It was on something crazy, and you're gonna be like, man, if you don't get your ass the hell up off my porch, it's gonna be a problem. No, I'm not doing that. No, I don't want that. See, you'll play your physical life like that, but when it comes down to your spirituality and the many thoughts that skip through your mind daily, you ain't discerning them. You know what I mean? You ain't doing to them or to them voices what you do to somebody that knocked at your door right now and was on something crazy. Man, get the hell off my porch. No, that's how you supposed to be with these spirits. A murderous spirit come knocking. Yeah, nigga, what you want? Nah, keep moving. Look at this. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father and said, my father. And he said, here am I, my son. And he said, behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? Mind you, Abraham in this story already know the burnt offering is Isaac. And Abraham said, my son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together. Verse 10. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. Abraham was willing to sin. Abraham was willing to kill his son. That's what I asked Zoya. Would you be willing to go through with it? Yeah, he said, yeah. Yeah. Abraham was tempted with sin by his deity, and he was willing to do it. He ain't give no pushback to it. That's the spirit you don't want to be in. You supposed to be on it all the time. Thinking and moving like a general out here. Who, what? Nah, you got me messed up. I'm not doing that. Because you already know, because the message is opposite of what the Creator is all about. You know they ain't got nothing to do with the Almighty. Nothing. See that? Abraham was willing to kill Isaac. He was going to lay him down had not he been stopped. And this is why the Israelites were saying, yeah, we'll kill our child. Abraham was willing to do it. Oh, really? Really? Look at this. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, here am I. He keeps saying, here am I. And he said, lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that you fear God, seeing thou hast not withheld your son, thine only son, from me. The angel of the Lord talking like he God. That's the angel of the Lord that was speaking to Abraham. Yeah, you got to get into understand the title and ranks of angels. The Lord is a title and rank of an angel. What God is. They all have angels up under them too. You dig? But you know that takes you tap in with the game to get to understand it. so you can understand what you read. All right, but this is an angel talking as if it's Abraham's God. Really? Okay. And he said, you ain't withhold your only son from me. Called his only son again. Verse 13. Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by its thorns. Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the place or in the stead of his son. As we see, Abraham was commanded to offer Isaac as a burnt offering, and he was willing to execute this offering until he was stopped. In the place of Isaac on the altar, a ram caught in the thickets was offered up. The question still remains, was God tempting Abraham with sin? Was Abraham willing to execute this sin? The question is yes. Yes. Don't forget, thou shalt not kill, man. You know how many people that killed children and family members and parishioners just because they said they heard the voice of God telling them to go kill something? No spiritual discernment, no type of nothing. God told me to kill my child. God told me to drown my babies in the bathtub. I swore I heard God's voice. I'm saying with you, the rapture Negro. You spoke with me face to face, Jesus. You gave me your words. High level of spiritual deception going on because there is no discernment. And these are Christians, y'all. These are Israelites, supposed to be masters of the book. And how in the hell are you getting caught off guard, killing your children and throwing their bodies in an oil tanker? How are you getting caught off guard with that? How? There's no discernment going on. There ain't no type of discernment. So that means you don't know how to properly to discern spiritually. That's all that means. That's all I mean. Because wouldn't nobody even been on that video talking some hell yeah. Yeah, I killed my children. Nigga, what? Yeah. Y'all don't know nothing about the spirit world. Y'all don't even have the basics. But running around here licking your fingers, calling yourself a scholar. Huh? Wow. So what exactly is a burnt offering, Malachi? See, that's something else you skip by. You just think, okay, he just was telling him to kill him, even though that's a bad thing too. That ain't nothing good. You understand? That ain't nothing to be seal clapping about. Nigga, I'm not laying a hand on my children outside of giving them some discipline. You dig? No, we ain't killing nothing. We not even about to entertain that. And whoever the hell that is that skipped across my mind to even tempt me to go kill something, your breath stank. You gotta go. No, you ain't the Almighty, nor anyone sent by the Almighty, because your message is off. It's really that simple. You see, but because we've been trained to go against that first mind, that first voice. We all done heard since we've been born, since we can remember. I should have followed my first mind. Look, y'all, I heard that as late as last night from someone. You dig? A loved one. I should have followed my first mind. That first mind is the creator. That's the voice of your maker. It has always been with you. You dig? But see, dealing with religion and the deities and the false gods and even the education system, you know what I mean? Dealing with all that, you've been trained to turn that voice off, to doubt it. And go more with what a man's logic is. Listen, you don't know what the hell you got going on. You don't even realize the trick bag you've been put in. You dig? The beautiful thing ain't none of it your fault. Crazy part is if you continue to be a willing slave instead of freeing yourself today, you dig? You just got to deal with the blowback. You can worship whoever the hell you want. You know what I mean? You worship whatever the hell you want. There's always blowback though. You dig? And you trip off this. All right, well, I'm quoting devoted to the end. You're going to be a slave. You're going to be a slave. So what exactly is a burnt offering? because this is what Abraham would have had to do to Isaac. What he did to that ram in place of Isaac, that was about to happen to Isaac. So let's go into what a burnt offering is. It's real simple. Spirit Basics 101. Abraham teaches how to discern spirits. Let's get into it. Leviticus 1:6 NET. Look what it says. It say, next, the one presenting the offering, which would have been Abraham, must skin the burnt offering and cut it into parts. So being that Abraham was presenting Isaac, what would have had to happen to Isaac? Let's see if y'all listening. What would have had to happen to Isaac? Abraham was the one presenting the burnt offering. What would he had to do to Isaac, according to Leviticus 1:6? Skin him. You skin all that layer of flesh up off him, skin him down to the muscle tissue. Skin him. And then chop Isaac into parts. Okay. Okay. You still think it's a game? You still think that we playing around with this? You still think you ain't up under the control and auspices of a damn deity? The hell you mean? I asked a brother this, you know what I mean? You know, they be so mad. You know, you over there reading this as if I'm reading something that's telling you to go offer up your child as a burnt offering. No. That's what you read. That's what you quoted and devoted to. Abraham would have had to skin Isaac, remove his flesh off his body, and then chop Isaac into pieces. If y'all understand that so far, y'all drop a 12,000 in the chat, man. Yeah, you might not be tripping. I'm tripping, and that's the problem. You know, when you ask a brother or sister this, and they get to stuttering and say, yeah, you've been compromised. You don't know the character of the Almighty or the Creator. You've been compromised, hoodwinked, bamboozled. Because before you even get that off asking one of us, we're going to be like, hell no, we're not doing that. Nigga, if you got a problem with it, do something about it. Like, we go the extra mile with it. I'm tripping. Yeah, I just am. It's too much. I ain't gonna say it's too much. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of mess that has to be cleaned up. So again, you may not be tripping. I'm tripping. You dig? Because it's so clear now. It's just like, oh man, we been hoodwinked. And I love these brothers and sisters enough to come tell them, hey, look, watch out. Watch out. You know what I mean? You see? So if you understand that Abraham would have had to skin Isaac and cut him into pieces, drop a 12,000 in chat. This is just one of the many requirements for the burnt offering ritual that Abraham was willing to perform on Isaac. With his knife, he was ready to skin and dismember his son. But we the ones in darkness, though, right? Let's go read in the Bible. We in the Bible. Shout out to my brother Yada LL Yon. Shout out to Imam Mahaya is in the building. Shout out to Chieftain is Key in the building. My sister Marlene, Global Purpose in the building. Brandon Carter in the building. Boy, I love his name. Black Mac Nino Macabee in the building. Brother Johnny James, Tickle, y'all in the building. Much love, man. Now look at this verse. So let's get to what a burnt offering. Because remember, Abraham was tempted by his God to offer up his only son Isaac as a burnt offering. Now these are the facts. It ain't like the gang making any of it up. We write the Bible. See, it's the denial is not a river in Egypt. Denial. You in denial right now. It's like, no, hold on. Well, I thought that was right because nah, it ain't right. It ain't right. And look, in no dispensation of time is this righteous. You see, and that's the part you're scared. Look, you so scared to call a spade because you feel like your nuts gonna roast forever. You don't really question that. Just roll with it. You roll with traditional breakdowns of your elders. Or even, I know Negroes that do the same Torah portions as Jaime and them, the Khazars. Like every weekend, they're on the exact same Torah portion as them because it changes every week. You understand what I'm saying? You got people who would rather depend on the breakdown of rabbinical tradition and Jewish scribes, or the breakdown of they fancy decorated elders and all that's decrepit and out of date. Instead of calling it for what it is, hold on, what? No, I'm not doing that. Let's get into what a burnt offering is. Let's get into what it is. You know what I mean? Look at this. It says right here, if his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. Or you don't, Lord Yahweh then, or Yahweh. We ain't gonna play like it ain't the, come on now. We gonna call it for what it is. Notice where he gotta offer it at the door of the tabernacle or the congregation before the Lord. Right there where the altar of burnt offering is, there's a gateway, there's a door. You gotta bring your offering to the priest where they already sacrificing and spilling blood. Garments already soaked in blood. Altar already got so much blood and dead bodies, dismembered bodies all on that deal. Look at this. And he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering. He is Abraham. The burnt offering is Isaac. Don't forget this. And he shall put his hand, Abraham shall put his hand upon the head of Isaac. And it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. Look. And he, Abraham, shall kill the bullock before the Lord. So when he shall kill, Abraham shall kill Isaac. Isaac is the burnt offering before Yahweh. And the priest, Aaron's son, shall bring the blood. So you got to bleed out first. More than likely slit his throat, hang him upside down. That's what they do. Around Passover, that's what niggas do. You go get you a lamb. You know what I mean? Bind his legs and all that, hang him upside down, slit his throat. And then collect his blood in a little bowl or basin or whatever. And then once the blood is collected, here come Aaron's sons or the priests. But in Abraham's case, Abraham had to do all this. Wasn't no Levitical priest, it was him. And Abraham shall kill Isaac before the Lord. And Aaron's sons or Abraham shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood around that means around the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle or the congregation. Abraham knew how to build altars too. That's in Genesis. Look, verse 6. And he shall flay the burnt offering and cut it into his pieces. And he, Abraham, shall skin Isaac and cut Isaac into his pieces. Y'all, this is very, very horrific. So you got to slow down. And then you read right through all this and think, oh, yes, it's all good. I'm saved. I have the faith of Abraham. Do you see what he was finna do? He was about to cut Isaac down. And not only cut him down, y'all, slit his throat, collect his blood, and then skin this boy. And after you done skinning him down to the muscle tissue, he was going to have to chop Isaac in pieces. Dismember his son. And he shall flay the burnt offering and cut it into his pieces. Verse 8. And the priest Aaron's sons, or in this case Abraham, who wasn't no Levitical priest then, shall lay Isaac's parts, the head. You mean to tell me you got to chop the damn head off the burnt offering? Huh? You got to chop the head off this sucker. So that means Abraham would have had to cut Isaac's head off. After he skinned him and started cutting him into pieces, one of the body parts of Isaac that would have had to been removed, lopped off his shoulders, not chopped, but lopped off his shoulders, is his head. His head. Shall lay the parts, the head, and the fat in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. In order to get the fat off or out of Isaac, you gotta cut his chest cavity open and then get the yanking, cutting organs out. The fat is around the organs, like the liver and all that, the heart, you know what I mean, the kidneys. You dig? There's fat around it. That's where you get the fat from. So you got to chop Isaac's head off, open up his chest cavity, cut out organs, and then cut the fat off the organs, and lay the chopped off head, the fat, what else? Verse 9. But his inwards and his legs, you got to take the organs after you cut the fat off and wash the legs and the organs in water. And the priest of Abraham shall burn all on the altar, all of Isaac's dismembered corpse on the altar. His head, his legs, his washed up organs, and that fat off the organs. Put it all on the altar in order. And the priest shall burn all on the altar to be a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor. I mean, it's a good smelling aroma, as a sweet savor, a very good smell unto the Lord. So you mean to tell me blood, flesh, fat, and a dismembered corpse on top of an altar, they got fire up underneath it, smell good? And you sure this right here is the Almighty, the Creator? The Lord we reading about right here in Leviticus 1 and 9 is the Creator. You know better. You know better. Look at this jackal right here. Look how he's smiling. Look at these chopped off heads. Look at his chopped. Look at these goat heads. All of them are chopped off. And guess what? Little East Indian dude is smiling at this. Come on, man. You know better. At what point are you going to call a spade and be like, yeah, man, that's off. This ain't got nothing to do with the Creator at all. There's no way you can read this and say, yeah, the Lord in here is the Almighty. That's the Creator right there. This is exactly what Abraham was finna do to Isaac. That'd have been Isaac's head on a platter right there. Ain't no getting around it, man. Ain't no getting around that. There's no way you can twist your lips and say that's righteous. You thought a burnt offering was just, hey, okay, he's going to make them bleed out and then just, burn them on the altar. It get way more gruesome. Way, way more gruesome, y'all. You know what I mean? And we all know better. That's the point. You know what I mean? When we going to get to the point to where we calling a spade and say, yeah, man, that's off. That's off. That ain't got nothing to do with the Almighty. And if I'm tempted to do it, I know that ain't the Creator or anyone sent by Creator, because they don't come with no message of murder, spilling blood. Yeah, we read where God can't be tempted with sin, neither do he tempt any man. Ain't it a sin for you to kill your child? Yes. Yes, there's no arguing about it. Yes, it is. When we play some videos later about people who have actually killed their family, or who have actually killed because they said they heard the voice of God. So that let us know y'all don't even have the basics when it comes to these spiritual matters. You rather argue over dead men's bones and primary sources, but the spirit world don't operate on that. You ain't popping up over there talking about what's your source? Oh, your source is not credible. Nigga, that ain't got nothing. Where you at? Those rules don't even apply. You ain't gonna be licking your fingers talking about some source. That don't even apply over that way. Boy, hey, look, if you don't go sit down somewhere, it's gonna be a problem. Y'all better get these basics, man, while you can. You dig? You don't want to be waiting till you cross over and you don't know what the hell going on. You like, man, shit, okay, the nigga said bow. He looked powerful enough to bow. Straight up did. A false god is gonna make you a slave. We. I know. Negroes do not want to hear this. I know. So as we see, when he's told Abraham to offer up Isaac as a burnt offering, y'all, there are laws concerning burnt offerings. It's a certain ritual that has a certain way it has to be presented. Dig? And now we know what has to happen. You know what I mean? Who's ever, presenting the burnt offering, got to slit its throat, collect its blood, sprinkle the blood around the altar, skin the burnt offering. In this case, it would have been Isaac. Skin the burnt offering down to the muscle tissue. Chop his head off, chop his legs off, chop his arms off. Open up his chest cavity and get to cutting out organs. Then cut the fat off the organs. Lay the fat, the head, the washed off legs, and the washed off organs on that altar. And set that sucker on fire, and all that's supposed to smell good to the deity. A pleasant aroma. You got the unmitigated gall to twist your mouth and say that the Lord in Leviticus 1:9 is the creator. And it smelled good to him. Hey, man, you better learn. Before you be a slave out here, you better learn. All right? Look at this. Look at this. This is the law or the rules for a burnt sacrifice. Abraham was willing to slit Isaac's throat, collect his blood, and sprinkle it upon the altar. Once Isaac bled out, Abraham was willing to skin his flesh from his lifeless body and then mutilate and dismember his corpse. This mutilated body includes Isaac's chopped off head, his legs, all of his organs, and the fat from off of them. Once Isaac's mutilated corpse is laid upon the altar in an orderly fashion, Abraham was willing to light the altar on fire to wholly consume the body parts of Isaac. After all, blood and a chopped up corpse set on fire is a marvelous smell to the Lord. We remember this. Let no one say when he is tempted, I am tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted by evil. And he himself tempts no one. We got a contradiction right in the Bible. Oh, I speed. First book of God, chapter 9, verse 5. Look what God said to Abraham. God said to Abraham, behold, it is an easy matter to commune with spirits, but to judge righteously regarding them is not so easy. First book of God, 9:5. Oh, I speak. Headshot. It's easy to get, because everybody claim they're having visitations and, they talking and communicating, and that's easy work. But do you know how to discern spirits? We use that phrase, real loose. So you spiritually discerning, you don't even know how. You don't even know how. You think everywhere where we say Lord, God, Yahweh, whatever, that's the creator, and it's not. most of you scared just to call a spade, y'all. It's real easy. You just got to tap in with the game. We'll show you how to properly discern so you'll know when you're reading something. Oh, no, that ain't got nothing to do with the Almighty. What the hell is that? Huh? Nah, I ain't doing that. I'm cool. All right, remember, you got the freedom, the liberty, and the power to tell whatever spirit to skip across your plate. Hell no. No. I'm not doing none of that. A spirit is just a person without a physical body. That's it. They're one-time mortals. There ain't nothing to be afraid of. You dig? Some skip across your plate that's wrong. Look, you better be popping your shit. Hell no. Who? What? What? Nah, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Bye. It is an easy matter to commune with spirits, but to judge righteously regarding them is not so easy. Dang, son. Let's get into it. Let's get into this spade. First book of God, chapter 9, I'm start at verse 10. Now, after Abraham and his people had returned to Jireh, his camp, and it was night, God said to Abraham, be steadfast and show your people so that they may understand my words. Steadfast means be faithful. Stand on it. Right? That's the problem. We ain't standing on nothing no more. It's with just because it's written down somewhere, you just yes, sir. No. That's the biggest trick right there. No matter where it's written down there, you better question everything about it. That's your job. Why, Malachi? Because your rise and your fall, or your resurrection, or your declension is all on you. It's on you. So I don't know about y'all, but I question everything. If it don't sound right, it just don't sound right. I'm not gonna lose no sleep over it. It just don't sound right. It don't resonate right here. So God, Abraham's God, telling him to be steadfast and show your people so that they may understand my words. Verse 11. And while they were still praying before the altar, God withdrew from Abraham. Now this is Abraham's God. This is not the creator. This is one of the creator's gods, one of his sons. That's with Abraham, right? Why he on this earth handling his business, doing this ark cycle. You know what I mean? Roughly 6,000 years ago, 3953 BC is when the ark cycle started. Abraham was 40. You understand? Abraham's God was with him, but he letting them know, like, look, be faithful, right? And then he withdrew from Abraham. Withdrew from him. You dig? And that lets you know, like, you're not always gonna have like help around. You're gonna have to learn how to stand and spiritually discern yourself. Like the Creator have, angels and all that around you to guide you and all that, but there comes a time to where you got to take responsibility and mature spiritually as a man or a woman. Regardless if the angels is willing to start something or stop something with you or cover you or not, are you willing to stand on what it is? It's almost like with children. Eventually, you got to let them go ahead and get out there and, fall and scrape them knees up so they can get some understanding. Eventually, you got to say, you know what? I ain't about to hold your hand right here. Go ahead. They dig. And if he fall, he's learning. Okay, dang, I did that and failed last time. Dang, I did that. You know what I mean? Scraped up my elbows and my kneecaps down to the white meat, boy. Let me not do that no more. It's the same thing you do with children. You don't hold their hands their whole life. Eventually, okay, I ain't gonna hold your hand. Do your thing. Eventually, the training wheels come off the bikes. You gotta ride that deal. All right? It's the same because if an angel was there to hold your hand, you would never yourself develop and get better. Right? You go through your trials and all that to test you, to test your desire, to test your willpower, to make you a better individual, all the way around. So you got Abraham's God withdrawing from them. It's like him not holding his hand. Now, look, I'm not about to hold your hand right now. All right? Handle your business. You can do it. All right? And while they were praying before the altar, God withdrew from Abraham and allowed the evil angels who had followed them from Sodom and Gomorrah to draw near the altar. And one of the angels clothed himself in a great light. Wow. And adorned with sparkling gems and a crown. And he appeared so all the multitude of people could look upon him. Hold on. We know the creator has never been seen. So this right here for sure ain't the creator. And the crazy part about it, it ain't even Abraham's God. Because angels are in the form and figures of men, but the creator is not. Because angels are one-time men. You dig? But notice, he ain't come looking hideous or whatever. That boy came decked out. He clothed himself in a great light. That boy put on some jewels, some gems, had a crown on him, and everybody saw him. And everybody saw him. You see? So it don't really matter what the thing, stop tripping. You over here tripping off what the thing look like. So if a false god popped up looking like Denzel Washington, fitting the description that's in the Bible about Jesus or God or whatever, you gonna get down. You gonna get down. You gonna get down because you're tripping off what a thing looked like. Meanwhile, these false gods can wrap themselves, clothe themselves in a great light. No, it don't even matter if this thing come to you shine. Man, it was a great light out there, man. Damn. It don't even matter. You need to be listening for the message. What's up? Who is you? What you want? Everything opposite of what he is. Huh? The Bible tells you this in Corinthians. Your boy Saul Antipater. Saul of Tarsus, he even tell you. Satan himself does what? Transform into an angel or a messenger of light. See? Look at this, verse 12. Abraham said, who are you? Right off the back. We're not about to play around. Who is you? You see? Here you go. Don't even know what to say. You just see some light and you just confound it. Now remember, we talking about the spirit world. You ain't over there talking about some primary sources. And look, when something like when you have a visitation, something like this happen, oh, that's off the table. You ain't talking about none of that. Huh? You ain't talking about no Chat GPT, no Grok, no Google Gemini, no AI. You ain't talking about none of that on that side. It don't matter. So Abraham right off the bat was like, who is you? Who you supposed to be? And the spirit said, I am your God. Wow. Ruler of heaven and earth. Wow. Abraham said, I am your servant. What may I do for you? Since you that, you understand? Then shit, we cool then. What may I do for you? Notice Abraham is shooting straight in the spirit. When he's dealing with something from a different realm or that vibrated at a higher frequency, he's shooting straight. Who are you and what may I do for you? Not you. Not you. You over here, you over here knees slapping like a naked newborn. Huh? You don't even know the basics. Look, this is basic. Because when you have a visitation, because it's gonna happen. If you ain't never had no visitation by now, it's coming. It's coming. Even in your dreams, when you're dreaming and all that. Hey, look, you need to know how to look. You need to be sleeping lucid enough to have these conversations. Who are you? What may I do for you? Because this spirit ain't showing up or appearing to you to shoot the breeze with you. Nah, it's supposed to be a message. You're an angel, right? That means you're a messenger. That means you got a message for me. What's the message? See, that's all we need to get to. You don't even trip off what a thing look like. If it got so much melanin, if it's voice of many waters, if you know what I mean, you can do some miracles. So the hell what? Get to the message. What's the message? You an angel? That means you're a messenger. That means you got a message for me. What's the message? See, now that we know, look, we can go ahead, we can get right to the chase. We can cut right to the chase. We ain't got to do all this, you know what I mean, small talking and, you know, we ain't got to do none of that. Huh? Who are you? And what may I do for you? And that's something that need to be learned doing these spiritual basics 101. Shoot straight, man. Shoot straight. It's real simple. Who are you and what you want? What you got for me? And the Spirit said, now remind you, this is not Abraham's God or the Creator. This is a fake God, a false God. What knows what it said? Evil angels. Right here, verse 11. God withdrew from Abraham and allowed the evil angels. This is an evil angel pump faking like it's Abraham's God. And the Spirit said, you should take your only son, Isaac, and your hosts who were with you at Sodom and Gomorrah, and go with me where I lead you. For I have great work for you. Well, that ain't how it went in the biblical narrative. Abraham was told right in the beginning, take your only son and go over to that mountain and offer him up as a burnt offering. That ain't what dude said in there. He said, I got a great work for you. Verse 13, Abraham said, I will do whatever you put upon me to do. Really? Okay. So in the morning, Abraham and his son Isaac and the hosts who had been with Abraham to Sodom and Gomorrah assembled together. And Abraham spoke, saying, where to, O God? The Spirit answered, saying, take sticks and a firebrand, which is a torch, and come to the summit or the top of the hill over there, for you shall restore the rights of burnt offerings. Really? So Abraham, at this point, understood. He thinking it's an animal. It's like, okay, well, you know, of course, well, he know the rights of burnt offerings. You're going to chop some heads off, cut out some organs, chop legs and lower extremities, cut off fat. Yeah, it's a serious ritual. But Abraham is thinking, from the old Waspy narrative, Abraham is thinking, oh, okay, we about to go offer up some animals to the deity, to the God. Oh, okay. Abraham told the people what God had said, so they began, and Isaac carried the bundle of willows, such as basket makers use, saying, this will light the Lord's pieces. But what will you burn for an offering? What will you burn for an offering, O Father? And Abraham said, God will provide. And when they ascended to the place, Abraham gathered logs and heaped them up, and Isaac placed the willows. Really? Really? Look at this. Then the Spirit, don't forget this is an evil angel. This is an evil angel pump faking like it's Abraham's God. Then the Spirit spoke, saying, what shall a man love above all things in the world? And Abraham said, God. And the Spirit said, for which reason you shall offer your only son Isaac as a burnt offering. And it shall be testimony before your people that you will obey God, even to the sacrifice of your own flesh and kin. That's crazy. You got Benjamin Netanyahu, who's supposed to be a worshiper of the God of Abraham, bombing hospitals full of children, killing them. You got Israelites who's supposed to be bloodline descendants of Abraham, specifically Jacob, the Israelites, right? On camera, we got them all claiming they would kill children. And now you got this evil ass spirit right here pump faking like it's Abraham's God, and just drew down Abraham and say, you shall offer your only son Isaac as a burnt offering. This evil angel right here, pump faking like it's Abraham's God, is the God of the Israelites, is the God of Benjamin Netanyahu today. This ain't the creator. That's what Owaspi's revealing. This ain't the creator at all. this is the God these niggas serve right here. Right here. Huh? Got the ability and the power to clothe himself in a great light. Huh? Sparkling gems. Got a crown on. Y'all, but it's an evil, it's a false God. And what's the message? Offer up your son as a burnt offering. Oh my God. Listen to me, y'all. This is the God Benjamin Netanyahu worships right here. This the God the Israelites worship right here. Huh? Huh? It ain't the creator. And it ain't nobody the creator sent. And the Spirit said, for which reason you should offer your only son Isaac as a burnt offering. It should be testimony before your people that you will obey God even to the sacrifice of your own flesh and kin. Abraham said, show me that you are God. Show me that you are God. Show me that you are God so that I may not err. For I have been commanded not to kill. Look at that. Look at that. See, Abraham discerning. He ain't said like the Negroes on the video. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'll do it. Yes. Of course. Of course I'll do it. Of course I will. No, he said, no, you got to show me you God. No, you over here talking, you over here popping it. This whole deal was about me sacrificing my son as a burnt offering. Nah, you got to show me you God so that I may not be in error because you told me not to kill. If you say you are, you told me not to kill. So you got to show me that now. Notice we didn't hear that from nobody. We ain't heard that from Benjamin Netanyahu. We ain't heard that from damn Israelite on the video. Nobody said, nah, I ain't supposed to be killing. Hell no, I'm not about to kill my child and offer him up as a burnt offering. No, I'm not doing that. Nobody even said that. It's a hell yeah. You not knowing the whole time that one that came with the temptation to hit Abraham with that is a false God. It's not the Almighty. It's not even Abraham's God. It's a false God. For I've been commanded not to kill. And look what the Spirit do. And the Spirit, the false God, pump faking like he is the Almighty, or Abraham's God, departed away from Abraham, perceiving that he knew the higher law. There it is right there. Once you draw down on one of them spirits like that, the message come through to kill or do anything that's against the Creator. Right? What you got to do? You got to make that inspiration or that God prove himself. No, you got to prove that player. No. Remember, who are you? What may I do for you? No, you got to prove that. That way I don't be in error. Because you told me not to kill. And what happened? Remember, Abraham shooting straight. Who are you? What you want? What may I do for you? No, you got to, no. That's the message. No, you got to prove that. You got to prove that. I've been commanded not to kill. And look what that spirit, that false God has to do. And the spirit departed away from Abraham, perceiving that he knew what, y'all? The higher law. The higher law of what? Not killing. And you think the world in the position that it's in, the condition that the earth is in today, don't need to go back to school and understand what thou shalt not kill means. People were being, look, the Mona Israel just got hit yesterday. That's where the Israelites, Ben Ami whole clan sitting at. Your boy Mighty Hebrew is an ambassador for Dimona. Dimona and Teleran. What they saying to Jerusalem? All that been bombed by Iran yesterday. You don't think the earth need to re-understand and go back to the drawing board about what thou shalt not kill actually means and entails? It's real simple. It's real simple. Verse 20. And Abraham called the place Jehovah Jireh, and they returned to the camp. Abraham, being moved by God, spoke before the people. Look at this word, y'all. Anyone notice this evil angel had the ability to appear as Abraham's God? Even the people who were with Abraham laid eyes upon him. He was adorned with a crown and sparkling gems, and he announced himself as Abraham's God, ruler of heaven and earth. So he must have looked how everyone thought he looked. They were praying before the altar, so obviously he answered to the name they called him. Ooh-wee. He wrapped himself in a great light, so obviously he had the ability to show signs and miracles. But when the doctrinal message came out, despite his form, name, or miracle, despite what he looked like, despite his name or the miracles he could do, Abraham immediately tried the spirit. He tested the nigga. Nah. He immediately tried the spirit with the spirit. He told the supposed God to show him or prove to him that he is God. According to Abraham, the last time he checked, his God gave a command that can never be overruled, and that is, you shall not kill. Once the evil angel or false God revealed his intent for the murder of Isaac by the hands of his father, Abraham knew. Abraham knew he was a false God, pump faking, like he's the creator of suns, moons, and stars. Trick no good. Trick no good. Dang. If y'all getting some understanding thus far, y'all go ahead and drop a 10,000 in the chat, CGG. Drop a 10,000 in the chat. Because we cooking. Ooh, we. Ooh, we, ooh, we, ooh, we. Real simple, ain't it, kid? He like, man, simple, exactly. Okay. We make it hard, man. We make it like hard, kid. Right. We grab some water real quick. Yeah. Glad y'all get some understanding. Easy money. It ain't even hard. Negroes get mad. What you mean my God didn't tell me to? What you mean? Oh my God, man. Y'all can stretch your legs real quick. We about to get into Abraham. After he had that experience, he went on teaching. He started teaching. Because he learned something very valuable, spiritually speaking. And that's something we all can apply today. I mean, if you ask me, it's something we all can apply today. Let me show y'all. These people run around here talking about they heard the voice of God. And did something very, very horrific.
For Deanna Laney and her sons, Texas, 2003, the discovery of the crime. On May 10th, 2003, law enforcement in East Texas responded to a chilling 911 call from a rural home in Smith County. When deputies arrived at the scene, they discovered a horrific sight in the backyard. Two young boys, Joshua, aged 8, and Luke, aged 6, were found bludgeoned to death with rocks. Inside the house, a third child, 14-month-old Aaron, was found severely injured but alive. All three were the children of Deanna Laney, a devout Christian and stay-at-home mother. Laney herself had placed an emergency call, calmly stating that she had killed her sons. She led officers to the scene, speaking in a calm and disconnected manner. Deputies immediately took her into custody. The community was shocked by the brutality of the act, particularly given Laney's image as a religious, devoted parent. The children's father, Keith Laney, had been away at the time of the killings. Medical assistance was quickly summoned for Aaron, who was airlifted to a hospital. He survived the attack, but was left permanently disabled. This section details the discovery of the crime, the scene's condition, and the immediate response by law enforcement and emergency services. It provides the initial foundation for understanding the timeline of the tragic events that unfolded that night. Background of Deanna Laney. Deanna Laney was a 38-year-old housewife living in New Chapel Hill, Texas. She was known in her community as a kind and faithful Christian. Laney regularly attended church and participated in local women's Bible study groups. There were no reports of previous domestic disturbances or complaints filed against her. Family and friends describe her as loving and attentive to her children. Prior to the incident, she had no criminal record or documented mental illness. However, some close acquaintances later testified that Laney had become increasingly focused on religious visions. She claimed to be hearing messages from God and believed she was being tested spiritually. She expressed concerns that her children were being led astray and that she was responsible for their salvation. No one around her anticipated the violence that would follow. This section explores Laney's religious background, family dynamics, and the absence of prior red flags. It also introduces the growing influence of her delusional beliefs in the weeks before the crime. These insights help frame how her mental health deteriorated under the guise of spiritual conviction. 3 mental health evaluation and religious delusions. After her arrest, Deanna Laney was evaluated by multiple forensic psychologists to determine her mental competency. Medical experts concluded that she was suffering from a psychotic disorder characterized by religious delusions. She believed she was receiving direct communication from God, who instructed her to kill her sons as a test of faith. Laney compared herself to biblical figures like Abraham.
She believed that she was receiving direct inspiration from God. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got people that are devout Christian, been in church her whole life and raising her children, a good stay-at-home mom. Huh? But don't know the basics of the spirit world, y'all. Don't know the basics of the spirit world, and it led to her killing her children. Huh? This ain't nothing you just sneeze at. Look, if you niggas, look, we already got you on camera claiming you would do this. This ain't nothing to play with. If you don't know how to discern spirits, if you don't know the character of your creator, this could be you. This could be you. Why not? She read the same Bible as you. Quoted in the vote. Good Christian folk. But swore she was heard hearing voices from God. Comparing herself to Abraham. Huh? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe button and all that good stuff in between, man. But look, see, it ain't a game. It's not a game. People make it into a game. This deal is not a game, man. If you don't understand what's being done or what's being said in the spirit world, you dig, and you just like, okay, that gotta be the voice of God. Then, oh yeah, by the way, he tempted Abraham to do it. See? And now you all in, sir. Yes, sir. You ain't tested no spirit. You ain't said thou shalt not kill. You just removed your children off the board. You just removed your children off the board. Say she heard the voice of Jesus, just like that Negro in Africa talking about the rap. She heard the voice of Jesus. Heard his voice. See, always listen for the message, y'all. That's all we listening for. I don't care what nothing look like. I don't care what it look like, what name it answering, or if it can do a miracle. So the hell what? Care nothing about none of that shit. So what? What's the message? What you got for them? And this is imperative. You need to teach your children this, your spouse. You know what I'm saying? Like your loved ones around you. It may seem like, oh yeah, man, that's easy. Okay, if it's so easy, why have people been killing their loved ones for thousands of years? Because they claim they heard the voice of God, the same God that appeared to Abraham and told him to kill Isaac. Huh? And every time a nigga do it, he ain't never stopped. At least Abraham was stopped in Genesis. At least he was stopped. Even though he was willing to do it, don't make it no better. But dang, all y'all that get this so-called inspiration to skip across your plate. And it's the voice of God, right? Why don't God never stop y'all with the angel and say, oh, hold on. You all good. Go kill your dog. Go kill Bevo. Go kill your bull. In place of your children. Why that ain't happening? Every person that claimed they heard the voice of God, that when putting that work for that voice or that God they claim they devoted to, and they claim it is biblical God, Abraham's God, every last one of them killed their family members or their loved ones. None of them was stopped, and none of them was told, put your dog in his place. You don't know how to discern spirits. If you did, none of this would be happening. And as we see, spirit don't have no color boundary. We got Negroes that have done this. Peter Moses killed little Jaden Hiddenbacken back in what, like 2009 or 10 or something like that. A Negro that claimed he an Israelite. And we got even white Christians doing the same thing. I want to hear, oh yeah, brother, we know how. No, the hell you don't. Because you wouldn't even be wrestling with the fact of the matter. But dang, how do I know if it's the right voice I'm listening to? Y'all ain't been listening. The gang been told you. See, you got a problem with not only the message or the revelation, you got a problem with it. Who's bringing it out? It's because it's us. It's because it's us, and it ain't you. Yeah, it's because it's us. You don't like the fact that it's people that can give less than a damn about what you think, but's gonna tell you the truth, period. And if you get mad, you just get mad, but listen to me. You dig? Which the path you on is a path of destruction. It ain't the Almighty. It ain't the Almighty. It ain't the creator of all. The maker of suns, moons, and the stars, and you offended? You offended, ain't you? I know. Negroes over here mad because you telling them you ain't supposed to be killing. And whatever inspiration you got to kill is completely false. Move this back a little bit because she compared herself to Abraham. Look at these jackals. Good old Christian folk. Good old evangelicals.
Receiving direct communication from God.
Receive direct communication from God. You gave me your word. You spoke with me face to face. She's saying the same thing. Same exact thing.
Who instructed her to kill her sons as a test of faith. Lainey compared herself to biblical figures like Abraham, who was asked to sacrifice a son. Psychiatrists diagnosed her with schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder with severe psychotic features.
You see, the head doctor say, "Oh no, she's schizo." That even though we know these are dark forces and spirits, medically and clinically, they diagnose this shit as being schizophrenia, meaning a split mind. There's more than one driver. Hold on. Don't you ever bring false God business to me. Dang, what this?
She reportedly believed that by killing her children, she was obeying a divine command to protect them from evil. She showed no signs of remorse during early evaluations, only a steadfast belief that she had acted in obedience. Her mental state deteriorated further while in custody, confirming the depth of her psychological condition. This section describes her diagnosis.
Nah, your mental condition is deteriorating because that false ass God that put that inspiration upon you got a ball for you. You fell for the trick. You fell for the trick and removed your sons off the board. These little jokers trusted in you. See, it ain't enough of us tripping. You supposed to be blowing the horn on this. You supposed to be blowing the trumpet on this. You on a sinking ship, Ock. You on a sinking ship. It's time to get up off this deal.
Symptoms and the nature of her delusions. It draws only from verified court documents and expert testimony. The section avoids dramatization and provides clear clinical context for her behavior before and after the crime, legal proceedings, and the insanity defense. Deanna Laney was charged with 2 counts of capital murder and 1 count of attempted capital murder. Her legal team entered a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. Under Texas law, a successful insanity defense must prove a defendant could not distinguish right from wrong at the time of the crime. Prosecutors did not dispute that Laney had killed her sons, but challenged the extent of her psychosis. They brought their own experts to argue she had some awareness of her actions. However, during the trial, overwhelming psychiatric testimony supported the defense. Laney's statements and behavior were consistently detached from reality. Witnesses describe her deepening religious delusions and irrational interpretations of Scripture. The judge, rather than a jury, ultimately decided the verdict. He ruled that Laney was legally insane and thus not criminally responsible for murders. This section explains the legal standard for insanity in Texas, the evidence presented, and the legal rationale for the court's decision. It does not include speculative commentary, remaining focused on trial facts and judicial process, sentencing, and psychiatric commitment. Following the court's ruling, Deanna Laney was committed to a maximum security state psychiatric hospital in Texas. The commitment was indefinite, meaning she would remain under care until deemed no longer a threat to herself or others. She was placed in a highly monitored forensic unit with specialized psychiatric staff. Treatment included medication for psychosis, therapy, and regular evaluations. Texas law allows annual reviews of her condition by mental health boards. Despite the severity of her crime, Laney's sentencing focused entirely on treatment and not punishment. The judge stated that she remained gravely mentally ill and required continuous care. There was no fixed release date, and any petition for discharge would undergo strict scrutiny. As of the latest reports, Laney remains hospitalized and continues to receive psychiatric treatment. This section outlines the structure of her confinement, legal basis for indefinite hospitalization, and the medical framework of her treatment plan. It does not editorialize or interpret her recovery, focusing solely on factual reporting, community reaction, and religious debate. The Laney case deeply affected the East Texas community and sparked a national debate. Many locals struggled to reconcile the brutal killings with Laney's reputation as a devout Christian mother. Her case was widely reported in both secular and religious media outlets.
Devout Christian mother. Huh? False gods, boy. Playing you like a fiddle.
Faith leaders issued public statements about the importance of discernment in religious practice. Some fundamentalist groups distanced themselves from Laney, emphasizing that her actions were driven by illness, not true faith. Mental health advocates used the case to highlight the dangers of untreated psychosis masked as spiritual conviction. The case also drew comparisons to other religiously motivated crimes involving mothers. This section reviews documented public responses, commentary from church leaders, and mental health professionals. It remains factual and avoids sensational language, focusing instead on the intersection of faith, mental illness, and public perception, broader implications, and mental health policy. Deanna Laney's case remains a significant example in discussions of religious delusion and legal insanity. It is often cited in academic and legal texts on maternal filicide and the limits of criminal responsibility. Psychiatrists studying the case emphasize the need for early identification of religious psychosis. The Texas Department of Health and other agencies reviewed protocols for recognizing extreme religious behavior linked to mental illness. The case also spurred training for clergy to spot signs.
Y'all, that mean Abraham, biblically speaking, was mentally ill. We're going to go clinically, Abraham was mentally ill. And the inspiration or the God that tempted him was a damn demon. Abraham was willing to do what she did. Hell, she even cited Abraham as a great man of faith. Good Lord.
Signs of psychological distress masked as spiritual messages. Legal scholars debated whether insanity defenses should include religious motivations more explicitly. The case continues to be referenced in media and education as an example of how belief systems can intersect with untreated psychosis. This final section reviews the confirmed policy and educational outcomes following the case. It reinforces the need for cooperation between religious communities, mental health providers, and
man. Anyway, hey man, hey, you know we ain't making none of this up, right? Y'all do know this. We ain't making none of this up, right? All right. Clinically ill, mentally ill. Good Lord. All right, let's get back to it. Let's get into what Abraham learned from this encounter with this false god. Pump faking. Abraham's God, or even the creator of all, the ruler of heaven and earth. What is going on with her, man? Dang. But y'all mad at me, though. I know. I know. Somebody mad about something. Let's get into what Abraham learned, man. Let's get into this. Let's see what Abraham learned. Because what that woman did is what Abraham was, false god was tempting. You did, and that's a false god that convinced her to kill her children, kill her sons. Now look that case up. I'll try to tell you. Somebody gonna be mad about something. Chapter 10, first book of God. Oh, I speak. Abraham said, Abraham said, this testimony I declare to you regarding what your own brethren are witnesses, that even the chosen of God can be deceived by evil angels. Dang. Well, they can take any name and form. Oh my God, man. Are you serious? You know what Abraham learned from that encounter? It don't matter what name of spirit is coming in, and it don't matter what a thing look like. You better be listening for the message. Remember, angels are messengers, right? Which means they got a message for you. And if the message is darkness, like that woman took her sons off the board back in 2003, 23 years ago. Took them off the board. That lady in her 60s now. Took them off the board based off what? She said she was hearing the voices of God. And heard the voice of God. My faith is being tested. Their salvation is on me, and you just killed them. Even the chosen of God can be deceived by evil angels. Well, in today's paradigm, the chosen of God, and you hear it all over the YouTube streets, are the Israelites. Israelite for life, baby. Israelites, right? You're the chosen of God. Well, even you can be deceived by an evil angel, boy. We got a whole video with you niggas claiming you'll do what she did. And one cat on there did it. And then what's your boy, Uline Mitchell and them, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, shit, he was having white folk killed in the name of Yahweh. Cutting off ears and all type of stuff. Yeah, Uline Mitchell Jr. The son of Uline Senior and Leontine Price. Yeah. Well, was in the Air Force. Ermin Mitchell. Yahweh ben Yahweh name is Hulon, Hulon, Hulon Mitchell Jr. He swear he heard the voice of Yahweh too. Shit, got to commanding people to chop off herbs. But knows what Abraham said. Even the chosen of God, you Israelites, can be deceived by evil angels. Why? For they, the evil angels, can take any name. What name you arguing over with about today? You only supposed to say Yah, or you got to say Yahovah, or Yahweh, or Yahweh, or Yahuwah. I haven't heard it all. Ahaya, Hashem, Adonai. I heard it all. I heard that every name you Negroes are arguing over. Name. But now you're getting some game now. Now you understand that, look, man, you can be deceived tripping off a name and what something look like. So you don't be deceived. Because again, you dealing with, we in a time and era of the word. It's high levels of spirituality going on, man. It's high levels. You dig? And a lot of you may be having your visitations and your dreams may be ramping up. You know what I mean? You dreamed about your deceased loved one and had conversations with him. And you need to know, especially in this time, you know what I mean, of what to say when you run across this type of stuff, man. You dig? And then every spirit that's in this spirit world around you that's just vibrating at a faster frequency. I mean, they all around you. You dig? But every one, even though it may come looking innocent or come looking like it's benevolent to you, you dig? Mess around and be totally against you. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived, because the whole deal is to come looking in a certain fashion where you'll let your guards down. If it come looking hideous, you know, like Dracula, Vlad the Impaler. If it pop outside looking like Vlad the Impaler, you're gonna know to stay away from it. They don't know I'm not doing that. Hell is that? But if it come looking like everything you expected, you know, clothed in a great light, man, got the jewels on, got the gems on, and the afro is perfectly round and great. Skin is proportioned right with the right amount of concentrated melanin. You niggas worship melanin today. The melanin, as if you can't be on no drug behavior with dark skin or carbonated skin. Look, the majority of the world is already prepped for the deception. You just look, you already breaded and seasoned. You just ain't got dropped in the fryer yet. You already ready. You argue over name. You know, pronounce a name like this, Yahweh Bahashim. Yahweh Shai. You man, look, you'll cut niggas off because they don't pronounce names like you. An evil angel can come in that name. An evil angel can come looking like Denzel Washington. An evil angel can also do miracles. Even the chosen of God can be deceived by evil angels, for they can take any name and form, and having no fear of God before them, declare falsehood for truth and darkness for light. And also, as you have seen, the evilest of cities, even as well as the purest, may be the abiding place of angels. Good night, St. Louis, Chicago, LA, New York, Miami, D-Town, Detroit, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, New Orleans. Don't forget about it. You already know about New Orleans. Come on now. Baton Rouge. That deal, look, you learning about the spirit world now. You're learning how things maneuver and how things appear. And how you can easily be deceived if you just not listening for the message. Look, what's your name and what you got for me? That's all you need to be asking. It don't care if a thing pop up looking like your grandmama. What's your name and what you got for me? Because you can be deceived by an evil angel. And the whole point is to capture your soul, to make you a slave. That's why we tripping. Now you know that the cities are the abiding places of angels. Never trip out, like being in your seat, like, man, it's something hanging over this deal, man. Like, these niggas just have no sense of morale at all. No sense. It's just whatever is a free fall, whatever goes. And because there are dark spirits and angels, millions of them. You don't know how to discern, so you just have to feel like this, and this is what it is. Verse 3, for which reason you should not seek signs and miracles. Oh, we know that the Holy Ghost is with brother Pastor Dow. The whole country has pastored out. Y'all run around here, with the Holy Ghost, the evidence of speaking in tongues with the Holy Ghost and casting out spirits, man. Just take you a certain knowledge. You know what to say and how to declare and command. You can make spirits move. Anybody can do it. There you go. The Holy Ghost must have just came to Pastor Dow's house and sat on his love seat with him and gave him the game. You over here tripping off certain miracles and things that get done that's outside of what you call normal. And you over here ready to serve this Negro. Meanwhile, the whole time, y'all, it's an evil angel. He in cahoots, or he in agreement with a false god too. You don't want to call it for what it is. How do you know, Malachi? What's the message? What's the message? The message is just all gossip and warfare, and you know what I mean? All type of manipulation. But this ain't got nothing to do with the credit. You know what I mean? You may have certain things, right? Like communal living, but nigga, you the absolute dictator over all that. Yeah, your boy Pastor Dow is up under the unction of a false god too. He ran from us in the debate too. Years ago. Ran. I mean, postponed it for a whole year and then act like he was trying to get. And we told him a year earlier we can get it popping tomorrow. I'm busy. I'll see what my calendar looks like next year. Next year? This nigga ain't talking about that, man. He's soft too. SOF capital T, soft. But y'all think just because he got knowledge on how to, move evil spirits around. Oh, the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost is with this brother. You ain't supposed to be tripping off a name, what a thing look like, or no miracles. And this is what Abraham is teaching. For which reason you shall not seek signs and miracles. For these may be from evil who? Spirits. Even though they show their bodies or converse learnedly, it is not in the power of man. It is not in the power of man. This is what Abraham is teaching 6,000 years ago. In 3953 BCE. According to the timetables of prophecy. Oh, yeah, that's, if you want to know what that is, you got to tap in with the game. We'll show you how to tell time. We'll show you how to tell time, teach you about arc cycles and all that, and different components of certain math that got to go down for you to determine where you at right now and where we headed to. Yeah. But notice what Abraham is teaching. It is not in the power of man to know by words and signs or by oaths or promises what is true. Dang. You mean to tell me an evil spirit can do the very miracles you praising another Negro over? An evil spirit can assume any form that you assuming your God or his son look like. And it can come in any name. look, these are the three main things you base the truth off of. You base off you being in the truth. It's based off a name that your teacher taught you on how to properly pronounce, because there wasn't no J's back then. It's based off the fact that, oh, well, you know, according to Revelation 1 and Daniel 7, Jesus and God are black men with white woolly hair. Huh? And then it's based off of some miracles that got done. And you're like, oh, yeah, Pastor Dow, Paul, all that must be of God. Look at the miracles. It's what you call a miracle, or what's being done outside of what you call normal. It's just the act of having certain spiritual knowledge on how the realm moves. You know how, if you know what to say and how to command certain things, you'll get motion right there. But that don't mean that you sent of the Creator or you the Creator yourself. No. It ain't in the power of man to know by words and signs or by oaths or promises what is true. Look at it, verse 4. But the Father has created one thing besides, which is his own light, for which reason be believing toward men and angels. And when they teach you according to Jehovah, which is life to all and happiness to all, without sacrifice to any, without the murder of any, they are holy. Message, teach you. What's the message? Well, if they teach you according to the Creator, which is life to all, so we ain't talking about killing nobody, happiness to all, so we ain't talking about enslaving nobody or have somebody do something that's against their will. Without sacrificing, we're having to put something on some type of altar to appease the deity because he angry. If men or spirits, men or angels are teaching you life to all, happiness to all, without the sacrifice to any, hey, fair ball, ain't nothing wrong with that. So you always listen for the message. It don't matter what these niggas look like. They can look like a strung out hell's angel. Or they can look like, you know what I mean, the less fortunate brothers and sisters that may be downtown and got no place to stay. But if the message is that of life to all, happiness to all, without sacrifice to any, that's of the Creator. No matter what vessel is coming out of. So if you understand that you're not supposed to be tripping off what a thing look like, what name it answers to, or if it can do miracles, and discerning if this is truth or not. If you understand that, y'all drop an 8,000 in the chat, man. Shout out to the CGG. Shout out to the CGG. Y'all drop an 8,000 in the chat, man. These are basics. These are things that need to be understood. All right? And notice he letting it be known that they come teaching like this, you press play on it. Look at it. If man or angel says, visit the sick and administer to the distressed, follow his advice, for it is of the Father. See? And you get inspired to go visit the sick and look out for those less fortunate. Y'all, that is a righteous inspiration. Look at this, verse 6. But if man or angel says, do this and you shall have profit. You're going to run a bag up like this, or glory, or applause. Do not obey him. Do not obey him, for he advises for yourself and not for the brotherhood of man. He is not of God. So if it's a self-centered message, it ain't even got to be one of murder and bloodshed. But if it's self-centered, it's all about you being, the big muckety muck or the groovy guru. It's about you getting all the glory. It's about you running up your bag. It's about everybody clapping and giving you a standing ovation when you walk in the room. It tell you don't obey that. Don't obey that man or angel that's inspiring you to do that. Why though? Why you can't listen to none of that? Why? Because the advice is for yourself. It ain't for the greater good of us. You see? This whole deal is about being selfless, not selfish. Selfless. I know an elder. This Negro swore he was deep too. He used to always say, yeah, salvation is selfish. And years later, once I started coming into some understanding, I'm like, man, he is completely off. Completely off. No, salvation is selfless. You ain't really tripping off yourself. You over here doing what you do and spreading this light for the salvation of others. A real light worker ain't even tripping off himself. You did? Because he heard to bring light to everybody else, to assist everybody else in what they got going on. Now, imagine if we all had that same mindset. You see? Look at it. Verse 7. For spirits will come disguised as your fathers and mothers who are dead. Look at the deception. Huh? So in your dreams, and you may not be in a dream. You may just be in some type of, then sunk into some type of vision real quick. All right? Do you know these spirits have the ability to come looking just like your father or your mother or your grandfather and mother or any of your loved ones who have just passed on? You ain't supposed to be tripping off that. Now, if they come in to holler at you, who are you and what you got for me? What may I do for you? What's the message? And the whole point is for you not to be deceived. Because even the chosen of God can be deceived by who? Evil spirits. You only supposed to be tripping off the message something got for you. That's it. And nothing else matters. For spirits will come disguised as your fathers and mothers who are dead, professing love and a bag to you, profit to you. Do not believe them. Do not believe them, except when they teach you to sacrifice self for the good of others. Here's the message. Selfless. Here's the message. Don't even believe spirits that come looking like your loved ones. So what they look like that? Oh, I love you. And look, you about to hit the Powerball and, find your knight in shining armor, and do not believe them. Except when they teach you to sacrifice self for the good of others. When you ain't tripping off yourself. Like if I gotta go the extra mile to make sure you get this light, and so be it. Sacrifice my time, myself, whatever. I'll give up whatever that has to happen for you to get this understanding. That's of the Creator right there. Oh, wait. Hold on, kid. No. Dang. Shout out to my brother Prince Judah Vaughn in the building. Bronze, man, your boy Pastor Dow, boy, that boy ducked about it. That boy ducked about it, that boy. Look at this right here. Look at this right here, verse 8. The wicked in heart, having profited in herds and in gold and silver, say, behold, God has blessed me. So these are those who, they got it going on. You may deem them as very successful, and they got plenty of resources, and, it's just, they got it according to the world. Look what it say. The wicked in heart, having profited in herds and in gold and silver, say, behold, God has blessed me. But I say to you, they are what? Cursed, and not of God. Good night. Has he gathered you together here because you were rich? You were slaves. It sound familiar? You were slaves and in poverty. Sound familiar? Sick and in bondage. Does it sound familiar, my people? and he came and delivered you. Be like him and he will abide with you. So just like you ain't arguing about primary sources and, you know, the Wikipedia links, and you also ain't in that world, in the spirit world, Spirit Basis 101, your Federal Reserve debt notes, your gold, your silver, your oil, don't none of it fly over there. See, the things that make man preeminent in earth, in his flesh, don't none of that fly over there. Don't none of that fly over there. There be people that you deem as so successful, you cross over and enter the spirit world. Listen to me, y'all, retarded. Don't know what the hell going on. You're in a good spot. You're in a great spot, actually, knowing this type of understanding. It's just the world ain't caught it yet. You know what I mean? The world just ain't caught it. But when it do, you know, that's when they're going to start putting the light on us. Y'all, hey, they was talking about that 20 years ago, man. 10 years ago, they was talking about that. And we laughed at them and mocked them. We weren't listening to the message or for the message. We thought they was tripping. They'll catch it. They'll catch it eventually. You know what I mean? The light is so high to where it really ain't nothing to debate about. You just in denial, and that ain't a river in Egypt. It's not. Look at this. Look at this. Dang. Joe with Millie Mouth Negroes get mad. Get mad then. Look at it. Verse 10. If a spirit says, behold, I am your father, say to him, it is well, what do you want? You see that? See that? Abraham is teaching you how to shoot straight in the spirit. That he learned a valuable lesson when he ran into that false god that wrapped itself in a great light and then had that crown on, gems. You know what I mean? Was able to do miracles and all that. It did. He learned a valuable lesson that even the chosen of God can be deceived by evil angels. That was a very, very valuable lesson that he learned. And so he started teaching behind that. Start teaching. And look, let me go ahead and let the tribe know like how real this is. Because you can be deceived. How? Because you're tripping off what a thing will look like, what name it come in, and if it can do a miracle. And evil spirits can do all of that. Can do all of that. Oh, yeah, we know that. I ain't trying to hear what you think you know. It is, because if that's the case, you wouldn't have for thousands of years based off Bible, thousands of years based off Quran, thousands of years based off all these spiritual systems out here. People have been killing in the name of their God. So no, you don't know. You don't know how to discern. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because look, you too scared to say. When we read about the temptation of Abraham in Genesis 22, you too scared to say that was a false god that tempted Abraham. That God was false. That's not the creator. You can't even admit that. And if you can't admit that, then guess what? You don't know how to discern spirits then. No, you don't. You can't even let your testes drag, men. You can't even let your testy drag and call it for what it is. That's a false-ass God that tempted Abraham to do that to his son. If you can't make that confession about a story you read in the Bible, no, you don't know how to discern spirits. No, you don't. No, you don't. You too scared to call it for what it is. And if you scared, you're not ready for this. You're not ready for no spiritual warfare or no type of spiritual understanding or no type of spiritual discernment. You're not. You're not. If a spirit says, behold, I am your father, say to him, it is well, what do you want? That's how you're supposed to be hollering at these spirits, even if it comes looking like your pops. Yeah, that's what's up, what you want. And when he answers you, consider if his words are of God, which are for the glory of the Creator. And if his words are not of God, you should challenge him and prove himself. You see that? You make him stand on his. like Abraham did. And guess what, dude? He knew the higher law. He tucked his tail and got up out of there. Got up out of there. See, that's the problem. You not tripping. See, you look, one day you're going to stop playing this soft. You're going to go, oh, okay. I just told a sister that a couple weeks ago. Stop playing your spirit life like stop being so damn gullible. Stop being soft with this. So any spirit can just sniff your back and you, oh yeah, oh, I'm having an experience and I'm so exuberant and that's a false ass God you're dealing with. And of course you know now because guess what? The blowback then came. You gotta clean up all this mess right now. But you just were so caught up into this feeling you was getting, this conversation you was having spiritually. No? Stop playing it so soft. That's the problem. You not tripping. You supposed to be God tripping out here. I'm tripping. Anything I heard that's all. I'm tripping. Oh, what? Who? Hell no, we not doing that. See, you can't afford to play this thing soft, man. You can't. You can't. These suckers are very deceptive. Masters at deception and manipulation. Masters. And you got to get that up out of you to where you just got a unclean lust to be liked and accepted by every damn body. The hell with what they like. Nobody care what you like. Souls is on the line around her. No, I just don't like it. And, I just don't feel. And look, listen to me. We all so-called mankind, and we all got feelings. It's just that they don't matter. They don't matter when it comes to the grand scheme of life. They don't. I know you don't like to hear that. Your damn feelings don't matter when it comes to the grand scheme or the grand spectrum of life. They don't. They don't matter. We all got them, but they don't matter. Your feelings or emotions are like clouds, boo-boo. You know what happened with them? You know what happened with clouds? They swirl, they expand, and then they vanish. There ain't no real direction in no damn feelings. It's not. Your feelings really don't matter in the grand scheme of life. You outside right now, and it's just so hot outside. So can you get angry enough to make it cool off 1 degree? No. You outside right now and it's raining. Can you get angry? Oh, I don't like the rain. Can you get mad enough to make it stop raining? No. You think the river gonna slow up for you because you gotta cross it? No. Is the mountain gonna bend for you because you gotta climb it and you scared of heights? No. Is the sun going to delay its coming out because you still sleepy? No. Your damn feelings don't matter when it comes to the grand scheme of life. They don't. They could even be deceptive. You understand? You got to start thinking, we got to start thinking less of ourselves and more about, you understand, handling what's right there in front of us. You're too overly emotional. And you act like it really matters that you don't like certain things. So the hell what? You don't like it. What that mean? All right, it don't even mean that because certain things are the way they are. It's just what it is. Certain things are the way they are. It don't matter how angry you get about it or how happy you are over it. Get out your feelings when you're dealing with this spirituality. Stop being soft. Yeah, you don't hear that though. You rather me give you a pie in the sky theory. Nah, I ain't about to give you. I ain't even gonna give it to you like that. I'm gonna let you know what it is. Look, leave your feelings on the floor. We all got them, but when it comes to real, especially the spirit world, they don't matter. And that's where we all headed, y'all. We all headed to. We all gotta cross that threshold. You dig? So unless you understand what it is, right? Unless you shooting straight, unless you removing your feelings out the way and just dealing with it is that's right in front of you. You dig? You're not ready for this, man. You're not. You're not. You're gonna get wrapped up quick. Verse 13. Yet neither shall man flatter himself by saying, behold, I have joined the faithless. What that say in parentheses? Israelites. Israelites, oh, I know, watch me, man. That's what it is. Negroes don't like the faith. They don't talk nothing about it don't talk nothing about the Israelites. You ain't read nothing. That's why. Don't flatter yourself by saying you've joined the Israelites or the faithless. My soul shall escape hell. For in that day and hour, God may be putting him to the test to see if his heart is for good works and holiness. For because you profess God, you profess God, you profess Creator, right? You the chosen people, right? For because you profess God, you are doubly bound to practice godliness in your behavior toward men and angels. Wait, if you get some understanding, drop a 7,000 in the chat, family. Y'all know we still cooking, man. Y'all know we ain't here to play no games. And look, gang, CGG, you in the best position anybody could be in. You're in the best position anyone could be in because you know it's the basics when it comes down to creating in the world we head to, you know what I mean? It may not seem like it at times, and I know. I be, man, look. But when you look at it for what it is, y'all, look, you in a better position than all the world rulers, all your entertainers, all your athletes. None of them know this. All your so-called religious leaders, none of them know this. You're in a great position, man. You know what I mean? And you're the Creator's light workers, and that's what we supposed to be doing: light bombing everywhere, light bombing, just spreading light. That's just what it is. Teaching not only mortals but even angels of darkness. You know, giving them the light. You know what I mean? You know, unclean spirits skip across your plate or whatever. Nigga, you over here, you finna get whooped with this light. We ain't talking about nothing but Creator over here. You about to get whooped on. Any dark spirits sent this way, they about to get this light. Okay? Think it's a game. Chapter 3. First book of God, chapter 3, we're gonna deal with the brethren, Poe. And you know, Poe and all them. Poe, Abraham, Brahma, and OG, Father Iwata, the Aboriginal, who they call Native American. They're the Aboriginal American. I know all these brothers are sons of the Creator that were born at the same time. Yeah, around the beginning of the Ark of Speeder. You know what I mean? That started 3953 BCE, and they was 40 around here, so 3993. They all was born during the same time. Down in 4000 BCE. Abraham, North Africa, Brahma, you know what I mean? And not the nigga they turned into a god. That's the crazy part. That's something else that came later. But Abraham, Brahma in India, Poe in China, and Iwata, the OG, the Father Iwata, the Aboriginal, copper-colored American. All these brothers were born in different divisions of the earth at the same time and received the Creator's light, you understand, to bring it to a world full of darkness. They never met each other, though, but they all were teaching the same exact thing, proving the inspiration that was on all of them is of the Creator. You see? Look what Pope said. And God came to Pope saying, what is the extent of your fidelity or your loyalty to all the highest light, to the all highest light? Pope said, I will obey him in all things. Notice this is God asking Poe about the Creator. God and the Creator are not the same. Okay? And God came to Poe saying, what is the extent of your fidelity to the all highest light? Poe said, I will obey him in all things. God said, would you sacrifice your 3 sons if commanded by your creator? Listen. Poe said, they are the creators, not mine. How dare I? How dare I sacrifice that which is another's? Ooh. Ooh. Hold on. Even Poe, who never met Abraham, knew. Nah, we ain't killing no children around here, man. That's the creator. Look, my children belong to the creator, not me. How dare I sacrifice that which is another's? God said you are wise. You know the Ormazdian law. Y'all see, I knew it. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Ormaz is another way or another name of the creator. You understand? And that was understood over in the divisions of the earth dealing with Japheth or Asia. Ormaz, meaning master light, the all light. Like Abraham dealing with Jehovah. You know what I mean? Poe dealing with the frequency or the phrase Ormaz. Iwata was dealing with the phrase echo queen, but the message was exactly the same. All right, but just in case y'all think that's a different deity or God or whatever, let's go show who is Ormaz and what is the Ormazdian law. Chapter 1, Book of Divinity, OSB. God said, this then is the Ormazdian law. The creator displays his creations which he created. He set the stars in the firmament. These are the words of the book of the Almighty. You see, the Almighty's book is his creation. It's not a spine-bound book that you read today. It just so happened Owaspi, in this spine-bound book of Owaspi, it has the higher light outside right now, and it's revealing who Creator is. But make no mistake about it, the Creator's book, his handiwork, is his creation. All right, look what it say. It say he set the stars in the firmament. These are the words of the words of the book of the Almighty. He made the substances of the earth and all the things on and in it. These are the words of the Creator, Ormaz, the Jehovah. See, Ormaz, Creator, and Jehovah are the same. It's talking about the same Creator. It's just different titles. See, and Negro be trying to argue over that. No, we're not arguing over none of that at all. The substances of things going and coming forever, creating and dissolving from one shape into another. These are the Ormazdian law. Hold on. The who law? The Jehovian law. Look at that. By virtue of his presence, these things speak or impress upon one another forever. What these things speak upon the soul of man, write upon the soul of man. These are man's knowledge acquired by the Ormazdian law, the Jehovian law. Look at that. Ormaz and Jehovah are synonymous. Or Jehovah is synonymous. They're just different names for the Creator. What these things speak upon the souls of angels, or write upon the souls of angels. These are the angels' knowledge acquired by the Ormazdian law, the Jehovian law. Ormaz is another name for the ever-present Creator. The Ormazdian law is the law of the Creator. Also, Ormaz means master light. Ormaz equal Jehovah the Creator. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. The lion pen of the scribes. And I'm going to jump down and, get into some of that too. But I really want to just be touching on these spirit basics, 101. But look at this right here. Then this is out of Bible, Jeremiah 8:8. Some of y'all may be familiar with it. Jeremiah 8:8 KJV says, how do you say we are wise and the law of the Lord is with us? Lo, certainly in vain made he it. The pen of the scribes is in vain. Well, let's look at it in a different translation, the NLT. How can you say we are wise because we have the word of the Lord or the word of Yahweh when your teachers which will be the scribes, when your teachers have twisted it, the law or the Torah, by writing lies. Hold on. Jeremiah 8:8. How can you say we are wise in the law, the Lord is with us, but behold, the lion pen of the scribes has made it, the Torah, into a lie? There's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on. Jeremiah 8:8, NET. How can you say we are wise? We have the law of the Lord. The truth is, those who teach it have used their writings to make it say what it does not really mean. Oh my God. Hold on. According to the Holy Bible, not according to Malaki Macabee, there are lies written in the scriptures against the Creator. These falsehoods were written by biblical scribes. Since this is true, our job is to navigate these turbulent waters and try or test the Spirit by the Spirit. Since there are lies written in it, everything you read in the Holy Bible is not true. You don't want to hear, you probably spilled your coffee. You don't have to spill your yak. Breathe easy. None of this is your fault. Good night, boy. We got the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, powerful. You know, man, look, Peter and them first century letting you know that what? Look, the Torah is corrupted. Look at that corruption of the Torah. For the scriptures have joined to them many falsehoods against Elohim on this account. Yeah. Serious business. We'll get into that, you know. I haven't gotten to it before. Big asking for information, not contradiction. Right notions of Elohim essential to holiness. The same continued. How Elohim is to be thought of. They was repping Creator hard. The Nazarene Saints, they was repping Creator. They was at war with the Orthodox Israelites. They, nah, bro, we ain't rocking with none of that. Y'all niggas tripping. Y'all were spilling blood. You know what I mean? Doing all types of things that the Creator ain't got nothing to do with. Defects ascribed to Elohim. Like it's a lot to it. You know what I mean? So we'll get into that eventually. But let me show y'all this right here. And then he got teachings of Messiah, where he going into it too. He checking the scribes and them. Like, y'all some liars. That ain't what none of that mean. Look at this. So look what it say. It say, according to the Holy Bible and the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, the scriptures have many falsehoods attached to it. The scribes or teachers of the Torah have not only written lies, but have destroyed the minds of the masses through their interpretation of these lies. Well, who are these scribes, Malachi? Chapter 20, Arkaban, OSP 20 and 17. Pharaoh's scribes and recorders assembled in Kaona, and they appointed Phayah, an Egyptian, to write the departure of the Israelites out of Egypt. And Phayah wrote the account and called it the Exodus of the Hebrew. Oh my God. Hold on. Who wrote the Exodus? Because we all know Moses did. Yeah, you ain't know Moses didn't write none of the Torah you read today, right? Now that's a whole nother topic, but knows what it's saying. It's saying an Egyptian wrote Exodus. And Pharaoh wrote the account and called it the Exodus of the Hebrews, and it was recorded in the king's house of records. And copies of it were sent to the large cities, and they're recorded also. For such was the law of Egypt. Pharaoh's record was afterward accepted by who? Ezra. Ezra. And is that which is known to this day as the first book of Exodus. The book of Genesis, as it stood in the Egyptian records, was written by Akaboth and Duram and Hazed, and was the substance from which Ezra copied it through his scribes. Oh my God, bro. Dang. Even as it is to this day. The inspiration of Genesis was from the god Osiris, the false, and his emissaries, chief of whom were Yataba and Egypt, who were angel servants to Osiris. Oh no! And so far as the records now stand, the spirit of both books, Exodus and Genesis, The spirit of both books was the Egyptian version of the whole subject. God. And behold, it came to pass that the records were worthless. And to make matters worse, the records were so voluminous, being more than 6,000 books, that the scribes of Ezra could make neither head nor tail of them. Nevertheless, they were all written in the first place, not by the Israelites. Dang, son. Dang, son. But by who? But by their enemies. Where even so the testimony of the miracles is none the weaker. Thus ends the history of Moses' deliverance of the faithless or the Israelites out of Egypt. Good night, boy. Good night, boy. Man, you know what I'm saying? You can't even make head or tail out. You don't know your head from your tail, really. Why do you think it's so much arguing amongst Bible thumpers? And they all argue about you not realizing that, look, none of this is written by one author. It's all types of competing traditions, and it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, man. But that's why so much arguing going on amongst the various sects of Christianity, Hebrew Israelite-isms, Muslims. They tell you that, look, man, look, the books was worthless. They was so voluminous, you couldn't even make head or tail out of it. But Ezra's scribes used the Egyptian records to go ahead and bring your Torah into what it is. What you have today is not of Moses. Come on, how would Moses write about his own death? And the man Moses died. Oh, the man Moses was the meekest man upon the face of the earth. That ain't him writing that. That's somebody writing about him. You never ask yourself who? Esther 48, 54 through 62. That's why when I shot at that boy Judah Nasser, I was like, look, line it up, man. We can do a debate on if Moses wrote the Torah. That nigga said no. Live on Side Matter, he said no. He turned the whole fade down. Boy, because you know Moses ain't wrote none of this. We're going to end it right here. The book of Esther 48, 54 through 62. God said, my testimonies were previously with Abraham, Brahma, and Moses. I did not speak of Christ nor of the Holy Ghost. I spoke of God and of the I am. They have said, whoever speaks a word against the Son of Man, it shall be forgiven him. But whoever speaks against the Holy Ghost, it shall not be forgiven him. Therefore, let Luamong, that's the Christ you niggas worship today. It's a false god named Luamong. You never even heard of his name. He coming with a name written, don't nobody know. It's Louis. It's Luamong. That's the Christ that appeared to Constantine. That's the Christ that appeared to Paul's monkey ass. It's this nigga. They saying he gonna be the most hated God on the earth, though. Like when it's finally revealed who dude is, he gonna be the most hated God ever. Yeah. And even if you up under the vibration of, like the Jewish orthodoxy, that's still Luamon. He the same nigga that hollered at Ezra. Like, he was the one that was inspiring Ezra to go get the records. Yep, that we just read. They when they got them Egyptian records, and that's Luamon. You don't even know this, and you claiming the Waspi is a plagiarization. You ain't never even heard of the name Luamon. Nowhere in no book ever. That's your Lucifer right there. Luamon. Therefore, let Luamon bear his own testimony to the kingdom from which it sprang. The Holy Ghost was his labor. He the one that him and two other triune gods, Chisa and Kabbalichthys. These niggas formed a triune unity. They was warned against Baal and all them. You dig? But in the end, they denied the person of the Creator. They denied the ever-present person of him. So they called him a ghost and said they were sons of the Holy Ghost. and then got the inspiring mortals to shed blood and go to war for them in the name of the Holy Ghost. They actually called the creator a ghost because they saying we ain't never seen him. You see, these people are enemies. The Holy Ghost was Lil Mama's labor. That's his work. Come on, if you speak against the Holy Ghost, it won't be forgiven you. Don't even let that fool you. That's the work of a false ass God. Huh? No, it's the when you saying the Great Spirit, that's the creator. It's all creator. The Great Spirit. We're not talking about no ghosts. Not talking about no Holy Ghost, no Holy Spirit. The Great Spirit. That's the creator. Therefore, let Lil Mung bear his own testimony to the kingdom from which it sprang. The Holy Ghost was his labor. He the one that got people worshiping the Holy Ghost in this hour. He got to clean that up. Got nothing to do with you. Unless you over here a Holy Ghost freaking, running laps around the damn sanctuary and foaming at the mouth. That's on you. But I'm saying that has nothing to do with the creator or the Great Spirit. That's the work of some false ass gods out here, man. And he got to clean that up. That's what it means. Let Lil Mung bear his own testimony. His own testimony to the kingdom from which it sprang. The Holy Ghost was his labor. He got to clean that up. Verse 57. Jehovah said, had I weakened since the time of Moses? Chris saying, I got a week or something? Had I weakened since the time of Moses that I need to incarnate myself in order to make man understand me? And that's for you super Christians talking about some Jesus is his father. Oh, he's his father in the flesh. Had I weakened since the time of Moses that I need to incarnate myself in order to make man understand me? God became man so man could become God. No, genius. If he's a God, that means he already was a man. You be hearing Nick Rose say the weakest, the softest and the weakest phrases ever. God became man so man could become God. Sounding retarded out here. No, if he's God, that means he already been a man. I know somebody mad. You thought you was deep, didn't you, boo-boo? You thought you was, God became man, so man could become God. No, if he's a God, he already was a man and passed through mortality to a holy place in heaven. God says, sufficient for the time is the work of Jehovah, because the triunes, that's your boy Lil Mung, Chisa, and Kabbalichthys. You understand what I'm saying? These three false ass gods came up with a confederacy to overthrow Baal and them, but also to overthrow the devotion to the Creator. And again, they came up with the phrase Holy Ghost. And because they were actually, it's a derogatory term, that was actually mocking Creator. The all nothingness. Okay. God says sufficient for the time is the work of Jehovah, because the triunes overthrew the oracles and hundreds of false gods and hundreds of sacred books full of error and evil. Behold, they fulfilled their time. Sufficient for another time, even the present, is another work of Jehovah, which is to establish his presence with the living generation. That's what we do. We declare his presence everywhere. Why you over here running your mouth about divine law and natural law? No, this creation is popping because the Creator's presence is everywhere. Verse 60, Jehovah said, behold, I created and I am sufficient for all men. 61. In the ancient days, man worshiped all the spirits of the dead. And I cut him short, giving him many gods. And again, I cut him short and gave him 3 gods. And then 3 gods in one. This day, I cut him short of all, except his creator. Behold the signs of the times. My preachers are legions. Boy, CGG is in the building, baby. Much love, family. Y'all already know. Yeah, the gang is in this thing. Y'all got some understanding today. Y'all spend some voices in the chat, man. CGG is still cooking. It's always an honor tapping in with the fam, man. What you saying, Prince? We Prince, Prince on it. Keep punching on Prince. Prince Cosmon. Oh, wait. Y'all spend some voices in that chat, man. Love and all that good stuff in between from your brother. This your little brother. It's your little brother, Macabee. Got everybody got some understanding. Let's get up with the chat. Bang. Number love, family. Y'all already know. I see y'all in the field. Easy money, though. Like I say, you may not be tripping. I'm tripping. Yeah. You ain't let none of that pass. Yeah. Okay, we all good. I'm glad everybody got some understanding. What's up with the Aki Zion? What's the word, huh? Never love, bro. Never love. We glad y'all got some understanding. I'm gonna play some of this undergrads. It's our vibe on out. You feel me? Play some of the undergrads. Hey, look though. See, y'all sleep. I like this one song right here. See what I like. This deal go hard. Shout out to the gang. Shout out to Sela Shalom, my brother. What's the word, Kane? What's the skinny? It's the skinny. Okay, right here. This one. This is not like I don't like the rest of it. Okay. This one go right here. Oh, boy.
Every shadow is true. False grounds crack. And the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rose strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all. Y'all, we in the book of Suit. And the trumpet sounded. Every shadow is true. False grounds crack. And the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rose strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all. We in the book of Suit. When the crowns fell silent and the kings all died, Jehovah's son came forth with a lamp at his side, illuminating every cycle through a cosmic script. Who walked the path of light when the night got thick? Patterns came back around like a clock reset. A lesson for the ages you ain't seen yet. The covenant endured while the nations wept. Remnants kept the flame while the false ones slept. No soul abandoned, no heart left alone. The light freed man from the Game of Thrones. Prophets warned early how the dark would act. False lords fronted hard till the heavens collapsed. But the faithful held steady when the chaos grew. For they were branded by the mark of the Creator's truth. The prophets kept record of the things they'd seen and how the Father's voice had restored the dream. When the trumpet sounded, shouted, false crowns crack, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rose strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all, we in the book of Suit. When the trumpet sounded, shouted, false crowns crack, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rose strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all, we in the book of Suit. Nations rode high on the serpent's spine, but in time they all fell with their tails entwined. Empires brag heavy on their gold and stone till the cycle spun it back like a replay mode. Soon long centuries of tears and strife, rise and decline, yo, the pulse of life.
When the prophets got silenced and thrown aside, then the plagues came down and the false lords died. Temples fell quiet and the idols broke. Shadow lifted upward like a rising smoke. He revealed the holy blueprint of Jehovah's design, where no king prevails and no souls confined. He sparked creation's rhythm in the arc of time, reconstructing worlds that the false malign. He etched that law eternal in the planetary spine, setting newborn cycles in a perfect line. When the trumpet sounded, every sound is true. False crowns crack, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's like it always do. Pay attention, y'all, we in the book of when the prophet sounded, every sound is true. False crowns crack, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rose strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all, we in the book of when the final cycle opened and the veils unrolled. Sue rose speaking truth that the prophets told. He walked through lower heavens where the false grew bold, turning counterfeit crowns back to dust from gold. He traced Jehovah's line where the arcs unfold, correcting every kingdom that the night controlled. He breathed new life where the ages got old and shattered every myth that the serpent sold. He raised the nations upward from the fear they hold, guiding lost generations to the shepherd's fold. He lit the path of dawn with a lamp of gold till the remnant stood firm and reconstructed the code. He weighed the fallen heavens on the scales of old, dividing truth from lies, whose eyes can see souls. He tore the veil from heaven where deceit enrolled, revealing every single oath that the secrets hold. When the trumpet sounded, false crowns crack, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rose strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all, we in the book of Sue. And the trumpet sounded, and true. False crowns crack, and the prophecy grew. Jehovah's law rose strong like it always do. Pay attention, y'all, we in the book of Sue.
Yeah, that deal go hard. That deal go hard there, boy. Good night. Prince Cosmon is in the building.
Peace to the righteous God.
Man, talk to me. Where is the skinny, Aki?
You hear me, man? Can you hear me?
Hold on, make sure I can hear him. I know my damn speakers on this computer be tripping. Say something, bro.
Check. Hold on. Can you hear me? Check.
Yeah. What's the word, Aki? How you be?
All right, for sure, man. Chilling, man. I was I think this was yesterday, man. I was talking to Yara Black Sage Tiny Gun.
Nah.
And he did a whole presentation the other day on it was like an hour, 2-hour presentation on the scene. And
he did a whole presentation on who?
On the scene.
Did he? On what channel?
I sent it to you in the chat. I knew you hadn't looked at it because you didn't say nothing about it, but
I ain't even seen it. No. So what he on?
I honestly I don't know, but I just went on there because I was gonna show him the book of Ezra. I don't know exactly what chapter it is, but that's the one that deals with Yeshua's birth. And how the Essenes was inspired by Moses bringing Elias, who was Pharaoh, back from chaos, and then he willingly decides to inspire the Israelites because of his shortness of righteousness, right?
Right.
So I basically just busted him in the head with that. Them niggas been rah-rahing about Owaski for so long. It's a white man's book and it's witchcraft and all this, but they ain't reading nothing. So you over here talking about
your boy. I don't know if y'all remember, man. Your boy your boy Tiny Gun or Elder Slow Belly, right?
Yeah.
When he first decided to throw his little 2 cents in about Owaski, the Negro came out with a video called the Molekian. The Molekian priesthood. And look, listen to me, boy. We hit that boy top. All 4 of us hit that boy in 24 hours. All in the video. Durl, Cal, Sela, and me. We hit his top. Bah! Shot him out the water. You know what I mean? So, and then what I was trying to tell him was, listen to me, y'all. How dare you twist your mouth and those fat ass jaws you got, and got the nerve to say that this is a priesthood of Molech when the deity in the Bible was calling for the death of children, nigga? The hell are you even talking about? You did, bro. Listen to me. He got shot out the water so quick. That it wasn't even funny. And to this day, bro, they can't deal with us.
They can't deal with it, man. So I didn't even go on this little. I didn't really want to, you know what I'm saying, bust his bubble. So I just went up there and I just read. I read it out the O. And, you know, he couldn't say nothing. And he was tired anyway because he had been talking for 2 hours. So he wasn't in the mood to go right back and forth. So it was strategically in my favor to go ahead and just read the shit. And I was on DMG channel. And, you know, DMG cool. He cool with the gang. So
yeah,
it was just interesting. But my question was, the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. So it's the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, the Essene Gospel of Peace, and then the Gospel of the Holy 12. 2 of those books are the same.
Yeah, the Holy 12 and the Gospel of the Nazarenes is the same book.
The Holy 12 and the
exact book. It's a few words that's off, but
right, but they're basically the same content.
The Gospel of the Holy 12 and the Gospel of the Nazarene is the same exact book. Look, even down to the chapters.
Got you. That's what I was trying to figure out because I didn't want to say
you got your Essene Gospel of Peace. That's totally different.
Right, from the Nazarene Acts.
Volumes of that. And then you got your Nazarene Acts of the Apostles and the Clementine Homilies, which are basically the same thing.
That's what it was, the homilies. Now the homilies
and the Nazarene Acts are basically the same thing.
That's what I was trying to think. The homilies. Thank you, bro.
Yeah. And then the Holy 12 and the Gospel of Nazarene is basically the same book. And then you got your Essene Gospel of Peace, and that's 4 volumes.
Right.
There's like 4 different volumes of that.
Because that's how I was trying to encourage y'all. Ross stupid stuff. I don't want to call him stupid, but I just want to encourage him to go read that because what he was trying to say was like somehow John the Baptist was against the Essene. He wasn't really what they was believing. What I'm like, what are you talking about? John the Baptist is an Essene. So was Yeshua. So was Peter. So was Judas. So was James. They all Essene by blood. And so I'm gonna show y'all. And I went to the book and I showed where Moses came down, changed Pharaoh's name, and gave him the chance to redeem himself. For oppressing the Israelites, and then inspired a group of people that Moses himself calls Essene.
Yeah.
And then from them comes Joshua and all his family, including John the Baptist, who this nigga was trying to say wasn't an Essene or wasn't. He took from the Essenes, but he didn't. I'm like, what?
Hey, what a lot of people gonna realize dealing with Yara is one of our victims. Elder Tiny Gun.
He said what? He what?
West Side Connect. Of course we ain't talking about him. But
wait, you said he's what?
You said he's one of our victims.
Oh, victims.
He done already been destroyed, bro. Like, look, this is when I knew that dude just really don't know what the hell he's talking about, right? When we read the story about Elisha, the prophet, and the children that ran up on him and called him bald head,
right?
And how the 2 she-birds came out the woods after he cursed them in the name of Yahweh and ate those children,
right?
Calling them bald head, right? When this Negro had the unmitigated gall to say, "Oh, that ain't what happened. Those children that got ate were really priests of Baal."
What?
Man, bro, when I heard him say that, I said, "Oh, he just a nigga that makes shit up on the go." I will never take no Negro like Elder Tiny Gun, who calls himself the Black Sage now. He was Yara Nazir. Now he ain't even no Nazir no more. And look, you can't
that's what I'm
serious. Ever in life.
I can't take. See, that's why I went on there because I knew he had been jawing his jabbers about nothing, just milly mouthing like Ezra's prophets, his scribes. I'm saying for 2 hours. So I'm like, okay, this nigga finna be tired by the time I jump on this live. and DMG about to get it out of here anyway. So I'm gonna try to come up here and because it was about 20 people in the chat, but I can't just let that shit skip by me, man. For some reason, something in me be like, nah, nigga, go fix that real quick. You know what I'm saying? And don't even try to jaw jack with Yara about nothing in the Owaski. Just read it, get the information out there for people to hear, especially niggas like DMG, because that's the homie.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't follow nothing Yara talking about, DMG, nigga. That nigga is so off.
Yara don't know what the hell he talking about, man. Listen to me. He was on there one day on DMG channel. I guess he was trying to, you know, act like he real smooth and, you know, he had his little shades on. And so he over there telling DMG like, you know, it's certain people that came against us and then you don't hear about them no more, you know why, DMG? There's just too many tanks on the ground. So I'm like, what the hell he mean tanks on the ground? What army is this Millie Mouth Negro commanding? You know what I mean?
Not near.
And bro, so out of nowhere, he's supposed to be some type of general over a group of Negroes call themselves the Tanks. And
yeah, I heard them niggas in some of them debate channels.
I'm like, bro, look, that them Tanks that deal with, look, you know what? We need to go back and view and err that debate we had against the Lions Den and all them niggas.
Yeah, we should look at that with them because yeah, they be trying to duck and dodge. They got amnesia. They got amnesia from that Hadouken they got.
Nah. They ain't got you don't forget an ass whooping like that. What it is, is they're in denial, and that ain't no Reverend Kemet, bro. They just in denial. You know what I mean? And everybody that rolled with them, why you think, bro? They avoid us like the plague. Because
man, and he now he know I got my scope on him, so
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. He real different now. At first he was trying to talk major head about the Four Horsemen because I shout my big bros out every time I go on the platform. Shout out to the Curry gang every time, so they know I rock with the gang and I go by Cosmon. So every time you see Cosmon, first of all he think it's Cal. He think he about to get his clouds kicked out his jaw. When you see Cosmon. So I noticed his demeanor change, but we've had a couple exchanges now, and he came sideways a couple times, and I checked him, you know what I mean? And then, anyway, my point is I could tell now after what I just told him yesterday, I sent you the clip, you can check it out. And anybody else in the chat, y'all know y'all can follow me on my YouTube channel too. Prince Judavon Cosmon at YouTube. But yeah,
I'm gonna check that deal out as soon as I get up off her. Bro, look, just like when you swung through and you was a thorn into Zoyak's side. You know what I mean? Bro, I'm telling you, when them cats see you swing through, not trip off this. I would say apply the same pressure you was applying to the Zoyak, apply to your boy Yara and watch him crack. Watch him crack. Just keep every time he show his face, swing through. I'm telling you, that boy get to blowing his draws out when he see you.
Boy, I'm telling you, it's already in motion, man. It's already in motion. So
that Negro get to farting.
He gonna be just like he gonna be just like Apostle, waking up at night, slapping his wife.
Yeah, all them meat particles get to going sideways in his belly, boy.
I told him too. I told him, I said, hey man, when you read them Nazarene Acts of the Apostles and the homilies and the Essene literature, I said, you're gonna have to deal with the cognitive dissonance that you're gonna for sure feel, because that's the real New Testament history versus what you've been fed your whole life by the false God.
Yeah.
Luama. That Christ in that book that you read and that you call Jesus the Christ is a false deity, my nigga. And when you see the character of Yeshua in the Essene light, because his light was coming from billions of angels in alignment. Protect, bro. Look, when I was gonna read the whole thing to him, but DMG told me he had to go, so I couldn't read the whole shit. But anyway, I told him you're gonna feel that cognitive dissonance, bro. But let it, you know what I'm saying, let it dissipate. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna punch on you, but I'm gonna tell you how to raise yourself up. It's real quick. Just read the shit.
Yeah.
Just read it. And then make the judgment for yourself because the Creator made you a perpetual judge. You don't just have to read the King James Version Bible as if the Creator's word ain't the whole creation itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? What are we talking about, bro? Don't be scared to read Ospie or no books. These niggas is slow.
I know, and then got the nerve to talk about white man's book. And look, all them Negroes are reading books that came through the hands of white men. Look, that argument is irrelevant.
Right.
It's irrelevant at this point. That boy, listen to me, y'all. Listen to me. A Negro like Yara stays in denial. So look, he admits now that the New Testament is compromised. He admits this. He just did something on Sinetta Channel a couple weeks ago, and he was saying that the Jesus Christ that all the brews and the Christians believe on is the product of some cat named Ignatius, a church father. I said, oh. So, look, he ain't got, and Ignatius was a white man. Okay, so you can't even twist your mouth and talk that white man stuff, bro, when you just admitted that the Jesus that the New Testament believers and thumpers roll with, who you just was rolling with, was given to you by who? A white man. Please.
Man, come on, look. Tell you the Creator's light is unstoppable, man. Shout out to Tickler. Big sis Tickler. Salute the goddess. She said he's unstoppable. And that's why I have no fear or no anxiety or nothing, nigga. I'm coming like you said, I'm tripping. Nigga, I'm tripping on this shit, bro. I grew up. I play church. I just played at church today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I see our people being bombarded by foolishness.
Yeah.
And just la la dee dee. God is good. Like, I'm like, man, y'all niggas is gonna learn. And luckily, I'm a type of person that I'm strategic, like Selah. I'm surgical, nigga. So I know how to, cause I really love people. Y'all really my family.
Yeah.
This ain't no game. This eternal life we got.
Yeah.
So I take it very seriously, and I know how creators say just be good. Just be good because I understand Ospie, man. It's not hard for me to grasp none of the concepts. It was made for us to have comprehension of spiritual things and how to move and understand. So I comprehend it just as well as it say I should. And I know that the religions have all been put in place for a reason for us to grow to the point where we all gonna understand creators ever present. And so, like you were saying earlier, big bro, all we hear is just to show that, by being good. So I'm just gonna be a good person, and when the conversation come up, nigga, I'm gonna let them know what's up.
Hey, bro, I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing, man. Keep applying pressure. You know what I mean? Even when it come down to Sinetta goofy ass, we trying to kick you off the platform, whatever. Yeah. That means we're being quite effective in this hour.
Man, they don't know we rough around the edges for real. Like, man, we not soft. Like, I don't give a damn about none of that. I mean, I respect you as a man, but like at the same time, you gotta respect my liberty. I'm not a slave to your thoughts and your opinions about how I should be. No, nigga. I know the creator ever present with me, telling me good, just like he's ever present with you, telling you, let that nigga be, let that man grow. No disrespect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they just like, man, look, those who fancy themselves as our enemies, they just rebellious brothers and sisters. They just badass little brothers and sisters right now. That's it.
That's really it.
Eventually, they gonna get it. Unfortunately, it's gonna take a hell not to get niggas on, get niggas on the straight and narrow. But eventually, we all get there.
Man, I got a cut. My cousin. Salute to my uncle Moriyoshi, who got weed as an Ark Awakening Remnant Coalition up in California. On the west side, man. But my cousin, my first cousin, my blood cousin, my brother cousin, grew up playing music together. He played for Bruno Mars. We went to LA, did a bunch of shit. Anyway, this nigga hardcore, Torah thumping Hebrew like a Tazariak type of energy. Mm-hmm. And it's gotten worse. I thought he was gonna catch on because we brothers. So I thought he was gonna see what I saw. I brought him a Ospie. He lost his mind. I told him Paul was a false apostle. He lost his mind. You know what I'm saying? It's a crazy thing he's going through right now. And a lot of brothers, I guess, is on that same frequency. But he was going in about a bunch of stuff on Facebook, just talking crazy. So I checked him, but yeah, man, it's that energy. It's the false guys is falling, man, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
If you conscious,
Thanks to, all praise to the creator, man. He didn't, put that vibration on brothers like us that's tripping. Like, I'm tripping. I come from a whole Israelite background. So then, of course, niggas in church, Christian and all that. My mom and them still in church doing their thing.
Yeah.
In fact, they probably just got out of church.
Right, mine too.
But bro, I made up my mind when I first understood this. I was tripping. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm tripping because it's so much to clean up. And one thing I know about Israelites, there is no waking them up being smooth with them. You gotta punch niggas in the mouth with this. Like, hey.
Man, you gotta give it to them direct, man, because that's how Creator give it to you. He gonna give it to you direct. You're not gonna beat about the bush and sugarcoat this and that, nigga. For you, like you was saying, bro, you was dropping bombs. You was saying, man, no matter how you feel, you know what I'm saying? How mad you get, you're not gonna stop the rain just because you mad as rain. It ain't gonna stop.
It's gonna rain anyway. You out there mad at the rain. Your feelings don't mean nothing. Stop.
Nothing.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, look, I know no other way but to tell these brothers and sisters straight up. I ain't finna come with no crazy metaphors. Man, look, it's just what it is, man. Now, if y'all ever grew some nuts and wanted to debate it, you know what I mean? Whether it's your uncle and them, I got mad love for Yoshi. That's my brother. You know what I mean? But guess what? He won't debate it though.
No.
He won't debate it. You dig? I got, I know elders, brothers that's been around way longer. They won't debate it.
Yeah, Jacob and all them. He learned from y'all.
I just heard the elder I know that's been in the Bible 40 years. It's like, he just told me. He just turned it down. Told me, nah.
Damn.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, sound goofy trying to talk against me. You ain't ready to catch the fade, elder. So what I'm gonna say is, just go ahead and stop talking about it.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Because how you talking, and I'm like, all right, well, let's get in the ring. Then you like, no. I mean, his exact words, nah. Cool.
That's funny, bro.
All right, well, you turning down fades now. Okay. Let the record reflect. He said no. He tried to pass it off to one of his understudies, and they said no.
Yeah, man. Because the caliber, like I said, even my uncle, man. It's gonna be tough for them Negroes, bro. Because
I'm saying we're willing to display this. That's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
You know, like we trying to bully anything. It's just we gonna come out here and be on something and play with you. Wakey, eggs and bakey. No.
And my uncle and then they understand that easy work because he raised me like that. He used to tell me when I was supposed to be a young preacher coming up under him and them that you ain't gonna wake our people up, playing jazz. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go in there with some holler in your chest.
Man, you gotta go in there, cut that light on, yank them covers off them niggas and say, get your ass up and come on.
Exactly.
That's how you wake niggas up. Get your ass up out that bed, let's roll.
Man.
See?
My dad did it to me many a days.
I'm not about to hear no smooth soliloquy. Nah.
Exactly. So yeah, bro.
All types of noise.
Shit. I ain't gonna stop messing with them. They're gonna be mad at your little bro.
Yeah, you go, man. In the end,
I'm gonna let them know, man. I told you I got the sniper. I put that on Tazariak's forehead in my little diss track. Boy, I'm on your head.
What you got up for the rest of the day, Prince?
Man, shoot, I was about to I just got out of church, so I was gonna eat some, and I heard you live, so I was like, that's perfect. My break bro live, let me sit down, chill out I'm just chilling right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
that was an excellent presentation once again, my bro. I appreciate every single live you do, man.
All praises to the creator.
Keep dropping in light bombs. Gang in this thing, man.
Yep. Just a tap to Yakub Israel is good. Yeah. I know Yakub from being Yaquab back when he was a full-fledged Israelite. Yep. I remember his transition from the KJV into the Nag Hammadi. He was being that tough. Had a whole study group going in. He was like, this is the hidden manna that's spoken of in Revelations. It's the Nag Hammadi. And boy, when he got wind of that old waspy, I think I sent him something. He got wind of that and was like, Mally, where you been, man? I ain't even know you was here.
Yeah, man. Salute to y'all choir, boy, because that's the bro, for real, man.
Yeah, salute that bro,
I
man.
had some heavy conversation with the homie, and he done showed me a lot of higher light coming from the old too.
Yeah, he a good brother, man.
Just a good bro. Yeah, just a good man for real.
I watched his journey. I remember when he first came into being like an Israelite and then started transitioning. I watched him. You know what I mean? And then to where he at now. So y'all, bro, good people. Bro,
That's what we need. That's what we need, man. We need people that's really gonna have a conversation.
I think it was last year he had did a couple lives. I popped on there and chopped it up with him. You know what I mean? He definitely is a good brother. You know what I mean? Send my love to Yaquab, Ban Israel. I'm about to go feed my whiskers, man. Probably go wash this truck off real quick. Man,
yeah, man. I got some laundry I gotta do.
Yeah, I'm about to relax for the rest of the day too. So give us some last words, brother.
Man, love, light, balance, man. You know, much understanding, comprehension to everybody's soul from the direct inspiration of the one ever-present Great Spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's all love from your little brother. You already know y'all can follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram. Same name, Prince Divine, Cosmon. And yeah, man, let's have fun. Let's do good to each other. That's it.
Man, shout out to my brother Prince Cosmon. I've known this brother for years, well over a decade. He's always been a brother that's been sincere, no matter where he at on his spiritual journey. So salute this brother. Y'all make sure y'all go like, subscribe, share, follow him on the social media platforms. Let's support one another, man. You know what I mean? Until then, y'all, hey, you know your little brother, man. I'm about to kick back, handle some business. You know, dot some I's and cross some T's, map out the rest of my day and the day tomorrow, and get up and execute.
Hey, man, salute to you, big brother, man. Thank you again for answering my question, man. You always do an excellent job with your presentation. Every single one is light bombs from higher heavens and ethereal, my nigga. So keep that light on.
Hey, absolutely, man. All praise to the Creator that always was, is, and ever shall be. Mighty and great Spirit, the mighty and great I am, whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere.
That's great. Salute.
Until the next time, family. Love and light.
Wow.